Hello, fans, and welcome to This Day in Baseball, where we're going to bring you a full radio broadcast of today's game. And before we do that, I just want to thank Classic Baseball Radio, and there's a link in the notes where you can check out their full channel. They have many great radio broadcasts. And while you're listening to today's game, if you want to check out much more about the game and the players, look on the links below, and you're going to see links to player pages, the date the game happened, the year it happened, and the play-by-play. Enjoy the game, and check out the links while you're watching the game, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that every time new content comes out, you're going to get that firsthand. And thank you again for checking out This Day in Baseball, and enjoy the game.
Hello, everyone. This is Dan Daniels, along with John McClain, speaking from D.C. Stadium in Washington with tonight's game, the wrap-up game in the three-game series between the Washington Senators and the Boston Red Sox. Senators baseball is brought to you by HFC, the company that says, before you sign on the dotted line, know what your loan will cost. That's Household Finance Corporation, America's oldest and largest consumer finance company, with 24 metropolitan area offices conveniently located to serve you. And brought to you by your B.F. Goodrich dealers, the men who have eliminated tire buying confusion. B.F. Goodrich, the straight-talking tire people. This broadcast comes to you by the authority of the Washington Senators Baseball Club, under rights purchased by WTOP Radio. Any rebroadcast or other use of this play-by-play description without their express consent is prohibited. The Senators, who tonight are trying to snap a losing streak that's gone to 6 games, are warming up Phil Ortega, who's won 3 and lost 2, against right-hander Jerry Stevenson of the Boston Red Sox. And here are the batting orders. Leading off for Boston and playing third base, Joe Foy. Foy at third. Batting second and playing second base, Dalton Jones. Jones at second. Batting third and playing left field, Carl Yastrzemski. Batting fourth, the right fielder, Ken Harrelson. Harrelson in right. Batting number 5 and playing center field, Reggie Smith. Smith in center. Batting 6th, George Scott at first base. Scott. Batting 7th, Rico Petrocelli at short. Petrocelli. Batting 8th, Elston Howard catching. Elston Howard. And Jerry Stevenson pitching in batting ninth. Stevenson with 1 win and 3 losses. For the Senators, batting first and playing center field, Del Unser. Batting second and playing right field, Fred Valentine. Batting third, Frank Howard at first base. Howard. In the number 4 spot tonight, the catcher, Bill Bryan. Batting 5th, Bernie Allen at second base. Bernie Allen. Batting 6th and playing third base, with Ken McMullen showing little improvement from his jammed right thumb. Ron Hansen at third. Batting 7th, Ed Stroud in left field. Stroud. Batting 8th and playing shortstop will be Ed Brinkman. And batting 9th and pitching, Phil Ortega. 3-2 pitching for Washington. The umpires now are moving toward the plate. John Stevens will be calling balls and strikes. Nestor Shylock at first base. Bill Kinnaman at second. And rookie American League umpire Russ Getz will be at third. Only 2 other games are scheduled today or tonight in the American League. The Minnesota Twins are at California, leaving Oakland, where Jim Catfish Hunter pitched a perfect game last night, flanking the Twins by 4-0. Chicago White Sox are at Oakland. Those games beginning later. In the National League tonight, Pittsburgh at Atlanta, San Francisco at Houston, and Philadelphia at Cincinnati. Phillies are pitching Larry Jackson, Milt Pappas for the Reds. In a day game at Wrigley Field, the Dodgers beat the Cubs 6-0. Bill Singer with a 3-hitter, backed up by 3 home runs. Zoilo Versalles, Bob Bailey, and Rocky Colavito. Colavito now with 3 home runs in 2 days. That pinned the loss on Ken Holtzman, the Cubs starter, with Bill Stoneman and Jack LeMay in relief. Manager Jim Lemon and the Red Sox skipper Dick Williams meeting with the umpires now at the plate. After this series with the Red Sox, the Detroit Tigers come in tomorrow for the opener of a 3-game series. Barry Moore will be opposed by Denny McLain at Detroit. Saturday afternoon, back to the 1:30 starting time again. Left-hander Frank Bertainer against Joe Sparma. Then Sunday, the series and the homestand, completing with Joe Coleman against lefty Mickey Lolich. Tigers won last night from Baltimore to pull within a half game of the Orioles, with Minnesota 3.5 games back, and Oakland moving up into a tie for third, also 3.5 games back. And Cleveland now at the 500 mark, 4 games off the pace. In the International League tonight, the Senators Farm Club Buffalo playing at Richmond with Bill Dennehy started, replacing the first inning by Jack Jenkins. Now our national anthem. We'll be getting underway in just a few moments.
It's what's up front that counts, and up front ahead of the filter, only Winston has the good taste. From filter blend. Filter blend means fine tobacco for the best taste yet. That's why Winston is America's largest selling cigarette. Tell 'em.
Yes, with more brands than ever to pick from, more people than ever pick Winston. Only Winston has filter blend up front for the best taste in modern filter smoking.
That's why Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should.
Like your cigarette should.
Now we're set to go here as the Senators hope to salvage this final game of the series. I hope he's got a pocket full of runs and ready to go. John McLain. John?
All right, Dan, made some up special for our left home. Thank you very much, and good evening, everybody. Phil Ortega going after his 4th win of the year, throwing down to Bill Bryan, his catcher. Frank Howard at first, Bernie Allen at second, Ron Hansen at third, Ed Brinkman is at short. Ed Stroud in left tonight, Del Unser in center, and Fred Valentine is in right. Bobby Doerr coaches at first for the Red Sox, and Eddie Popowski coaches at third. The umpires, John Stevens at the plate, Nestor Sharlak at first, Bill Kinnaman at second, and Russ Getz is at third. Third baseman Joe Foy leads off for Boston to get the ball game underway. Joe batting at .263. Ortega, hands on knees, looks in to get his sign from Bill Bryan, the catcher. And he asks Frank Howard, the first baseman, to back off a few steps. Frank was in almost to the edge of the inner grass. Foy takes too high. Fastball from Ortega, ball 1. The outfield straight away and deep on Foy. The infield playing him to pull and deep all the way around. 1-0 from Ortega. Check swing ruled a strike by John Stevens. Foy had gone around, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. 1-1 to Joe Foy. The kick and the pitch by Ortega is strike 2. A good zipping fastball from Phil Ortega on the outside edge between the waist and the knees. And Foy is behind on the count. A ball and 2 strikes to Ortega. Bryan down in the crouch. Flashes the signs. Ortega ready. 1-2 to Foy is strike 3 called, and Joe knew it.
Last 2 pitches in about the same spot, John. Good to the outside part.
So Ortega slips the called strike past Joe Foy. 1 away for the Red Sox, top of the first inning. Senators trying to salvage 1 of the 3 games against the Red Sox. And also fracture a 6-game losing streak. Dalton Jones, the second baseman, takes a called strike. Ortega took something off the pitch that time and they hit the outside corner knee high. Jones batting at 150. Left-hand batting second baseman. He played last night also. A 1-strike pitch, too high a ball, and it's 1-1. Ball and a strike to Dalton Jones. The outfield plays him to pull. The infield around toward right and deep. Hansen at third, well off the line. Big gap in the outfield left center between Ed Stroud and Del Unser, who is shaded over in right center. 1-1 the count to Dalton Jones. Ortega winds and throws. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Jones cut hard on a breaking ball right in off the hands. Didn't get it. And Ortega is ahead of the left-hand batting Red Sox second baseman, Dalton Jones. A ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 coming. Foul back to stay alive. Count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. In the only afternoon game played in the major leagues today, the Dodgers, behind the 3-hit shutout pitching of Bill Singer, beat the Cubs 6-0. Ortega's ready, 1-2 to Jones. Again, he fouls it to the screen. So the count rides right on, a ball and 2 strikes. Carl Yastrzemski, the left fielder, on deck for the Red Sox. Just underway at D.C. Stadium. No score, 1 out, nobody on. One and 2 to Jones. A looping fly ball to shallow right. It's going to drop in front of Fred Valentine for a base hit.
Looked like an off-speed pitch. Ortega got it inside and also somewhat higher than he wanted. Jones simply dropped a little looping fly ball to right.
Valentine coming toward the foul line, had to play it on the first hop. And now Carl Yastrzemski, the left fielder at bat. Yastrzemski batting at .241. Jones at first, 1 away, first inning. Right fielder Ken Harrelson at the on-deck ring. Ortega sets and throws. Strike is called. Ortega pulled the string and floated a big changeup over. 1 strike to Carl Yastrzemski. Outfield, deep toward right. Infield, up a step, a double play depth and toward right. Howard holding against Jones. The pitch is strike 2. Another changeup to Carl Yastrzemski. That was a beauty. Yastrzemski turned and said a word to the plate umpire, John Stevens. Yastrzemski reacted like he thought the pitch might have been a bit high. 0-2 to Carl Yastrzemski. Jones at first, 1 out, no score, first inning. The 2-strike pitch, swing and a miss. Struck him out on a fastball. Ortega set him up for that pitch beautifully. Got 2 slow ones over for strikes and then blew the fastball past him. His second strikeout, and it brings up Ken Harrelson, playing right field. Harrelson, who hasn't been to bat too many times, has dropped off 47 points over what he was hitting when the Red Sox came to town. 47 times at bat, 16 hits. Ortega's pitch, ball 1. Fastball miss outside. Bryan came up with the arm cocked, looked to Jones, the runner at first. Nothing doing there. Jones is not fast. And the word is that he has the bad wheels, that he has trouble with his feet when he plays over a long period of time. Strike is called to Harrelson. He took the swift one from Phil Ortega. 1-1 to Harrelson. 2 out for the Red Sox. Bobby Doerr, one of the American League's great second basemen in his playing days. Coaching at first for Boston, calling down to Harrelson at the plate. Look to first, the pitch, tip foul into the mid of Bryan, strike 2. That was a high changeup, and wouldn't be surprised if Harrelson would like to see that pitch again. 1-2 the count. Jones, very little lead at first. 1-2 delivery, way outside and low to even the count at 2-2. With a right-hander, Jerry Stevenson, pitching for the Red Sox tonight. Bill Bryan is back at the plate. Jim Lemon wanting another left-hand bat in the lineup. 2-2 to Harrelson. Sharp ground ball to third. Off the shins of Hansen. He'll make no play. Brinkman picks up the ball. No play anywhere. A hot shot right at Hansen. He played it either off his shin or his knee, and Ronnie is charged with an error. Jones, of course, took second on the error. Harrelson safe at first. And the Red Sox now, with 2 on and 2 out, bring up Reggie Smith, the center fielder, hitting at .225. Switch hitter, batting left-handed against Ortega. Check at second, the pitch fouled back. Strike 1 to Reggie Smith. 0-1 to the Red Sox center fielder. Senators play him to pull, deep to right. The infield well around toward right, deep all the way around. Bernie Allen at the rim of the outfield grass at second base. Brinkman only a step off the grass at short. 1 strike delivery, swung on and missed. Strike 2. Beautiful changeup from Phil Ortega. 2 strikes, the count to Reggie Smith. Harrelson at first. Jones at second, 2 out. Top of the first inning and no score. Ortega ready, rocks and throws, and there's a pop-up. The shortstop, Ed Brinkman, calling for the ball midway in the base path. He has it for the out, and the Red Sox are retired in the top of the first. Boston, no runs, a base hit, 1 Washington error, 2 men left on. And at the end of the first half inning of play, the score, the Red Sox nothing, the Senators coming to bat.
Save during the big dollar sale this week at Giant Food and Super Giant. The stores are fully stocked with the fine quality foods you always find at Giant. This week is a good week to stock up on such items as Libby's stewed tomatoes, 4 1-pound cans for $1. Or Del Monte cut green beans, 4 1-pound cans for $1. Also Del Monte tomato juice, 3 1 quart 14-ounce cans for $1. These are just a few of the many, many items specially priced for the dollar sale now in progress at Giant Food and Super Giant. And this week, too, Giant Food is the place to shop for USDA choice boneless chuck roast at 59 cents a pound. or milk-fed veal. Roast, you can select from leg, rump, or sirloin, 69 cents a pound. Remember, you always get top value stamps with your purchase at Giant, the quality food people. Now, if you're a Senators fan, you'll be happy to know that with 4/5 of a book of top value stamps, you can get 2 baseball tickets for any Senators home game. Stop by any Top Value Redemption Center.
Del Unser leads off for the Senators against the Red Sox right-hander Jerry Stevenson. Stevenson 2-0 against the Senators last year, and lifetime he is 2-2. Unser is in a 3-way tie for most base hits in the American League with 29. Reggie Jackson of the A's, Rod Carew of the Twins also have 29 base hits. Stevenson and Elston Howard, the battery for the Red Sox. Tall, lean right-hander Stevenson to the windup, the pitch. Curveball is too high, 1-0 to Del Unser. Scott is at first, Jones at second, Foy at third, Petroselli at short, Yastrzemski in left, Smith in center, Harrelson in right. 1-0 coming to Del Unser. Sharp ground ball through the middle, base hit to center field by Del Unser.
Del regaining the batting touch a little bit in the series, John. That makes it now 4 for 7 against the Red Sox pitching.
So the Senators get the leadoff batter on as Del Unser spiked it sharply right through the box into center field. And Fred Valentine, the right fielder at the plate. Fred hitting at 189. Stevenson checks Unser, goes to the plate, and an attempted bunt is fouled by Fred Valentine for a strike. Stevenson has had a lot of physical problems. He's had sore back and arm trouble, and he throws that way. He tries to compensate by not drawing the arm all the way back, sort of snaps the ball at you. He curved Valentine down low, throws it from behind his right ear, which is usually a dead giveaway that at one time or another a pitcher has had arm trouble. 1-1 to Valentine. The look to first by Stevenson. The pitch. Ball 2 in the dirt. Elston Howard came up with it artfully. Still a great receiver, the 40-year-old Ellie. Ball 2, strike 1. The count on Fred Valentine. Del Unser at first with a leadoff single. Nellie Fox coaching at first for the Senators. Bobby Hoffman coaching at third. Outfield deep toward right, infield toward right, and up a step. Here's the pitch. Ball 3. Stevenson came in with a fastball, and Howard turns around and asks John Stevens, "Now, John, how about that pitch?"
John Ellie is one of the few catchers, I guess he's been around so long, who dares do that anymore. Not many catchers complain, even over their shoulder.
3-1 the count. Was set by Stevenson. The pitch is a strike call. Fastball right at the hand. And Howard is still jawing at John Stevens. Of course, Ellie, one of the politest men in baseball. So the umpires take more from him, perhaps, than they would from somebody who is going to go at them. There goes Unser. The pitch swung on, a high chop to the first baseman, Scott. He makes the play, flips to Stevenson. Not in time. Stevenson missed the bag. And Jerry is hot, and Scott kicks the dirt. Valentine is credited with a base hit. The official score ruling that he had the play beaten anyway. But Nestor Shylock, one of the finest umpires in the league, watching Stevenson come across the bag, immediately went palms down with a safe sign. Unser had broken for second, and Valentine chopped a high hopper into the dirt. Scott, the first baseman, had to wait, then shoveled his underhand toss to the pitcher Stevenson, not in time. So there are runners at first and second with nobody out. And Frank Howard at the plate. Frank batting at .307. Unser at second. Valentine at first. No score. Last of the second inning. Stevenson checks, he throws. Curveball down low. 1-0 to Frank Howard. Stevenson upset at the call at first base, ruling Valentine safe. Red Sox do not have an overshift on against Howard with runners at first and second. The look to second by Stevenson. Swing and a miss by big Frank Howard as Stevenson challenged him with a fastball. In off the letters. Howard had a mighty cut, didn't get it. The hurry-up call has gone to the Boston bullpen. 1-1 the count to Frank Howard. Unser off second, Valentine at first, speed on the bases, the pitch. Ball 2 is low, and Stevenson threw his hands in the air, indicating to John Stevens, the plate umpire, he didn't like the call.
John in the Boston bullpen, it's another right-hander, Ray Culp, warming up.
2 balls and a strike to Frank Howard. Jerry Stevenson has his sign from Elston Howard. The pitch. Ground ball, foul outside third. Floyd picked it up, stepped on the bag, but immediately gets the third base umpire, indicated foul ball. 2-2 now to Frank Howard. Jerry Stevenson was signed by his dad, Joe Stevenson, a Boston scout, and a former catcher with the Chicago Cubs. They gave this boy a lot of money. 2-2 to Frank Howard. Unser leading at second. Valentine off first. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Howard strikes out on a curveball. First strikeout and the first out here in the last of the first inning. The batter is catcher Bill Bryan. Bill batting at .220. Big, strong left-hand batter facing Jerry Stevenson. The outfield pulls around sharply toward right and deep. The infield the same way against Bryan. Petroselli bluffing Unser back to second. The pitch to Bryan is a strike call. Stevenson reached back for something extra, got a fastball on the outside corner knee high. Pirates and Braves scoreless at the end of 1 at Atlanta. 1 strike, the count to Bryan. The check at second, the pitch. Strike 2. Took something off that pitch and had it right over. Bill Bryan, apparently looking for something else, stood a bit bemused and transfixed as that one floated right across for strike 2. You never been bemused and transfixed?
I just thought he stood still.
2-strike pitch. High foul. It's going to be out of play. Into the lower stands to the right of the screen. Oh, 2 to Bill Bryan. Del Unser and Fred Valentine open the inning with singles. Frank Howard struck out. And now with Bill Bryan at bat, runners at first and second and 1 out, it's a strike 2 count to the big catcher. Stevenson looking to second. Petroselli bluffing Unser. A curve is too high. 1-2 to Bill Bryan. One ball, 2 strikes. Bryan waiting for Stevenson. Howard sets the mid. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, bounces past Howard all the way to the screen, and the runners move up. Unser going to third, and Fred Valentine down to second. Well, Stevenson tried to overpower Bryan that time, and he bounced it a good 6 feet in front of the plate. Skipped high over Elston Howard, the catcher, all the way to the backstop. Unser racing to third, and Fred Valentine down to second on the wild pitch. Charge to Jerry Stevenson. It was, of course, ball 2 to Bill Bryan, and the count is even now at 2-2. The Red Sox are playing the infield back. They'll give up the run to get the out with Unser at third, Valentine at second. Full windup by Stevenson. He throws. Ball 3. Curveball right down at the shoe tops. And a full count to Bill Bryan now, 3-2. Del Unser at third. Fred Valentine at second with 1 out. Last of the first inning and no score. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Bryan goes down swinging on a sinking fastball. So Jerry Stevenson has fan 2, and that leaves it up to Bernie Allen. Pick up the runners at second and third with 2 out. Bernie with 3 hits in 4 trips last night boosted his average to .333. Stevenson backs off the mound. Asks Howard for another set of signs. Now the right-hander ready, the pitch. Too high, curveball. 1-0 the count to Bernie Allen. Ray Culp continues to work in the Red Sox bullpen out in left center. One and 0 the count. Stevenson working back with a curve down low, ball 2. And Allen has seen 2 breaking pitches. Well out of the strike zone. First base is open, and the right-hand batting Ron Hansen, the on-deck hitter. So Stevenson can afford to try to get Allen to hit his pitch. 2-0 is ball 3. Right up at the peak of the cap, and Bernie Allen is out ahead 3-0 with Jerry Stevenson. Now they're going to make ball 4 intentionally wide, and Bernie Allen will be walked intentionally. The intentional walk to Bernie Allen loads the bases with 2 out and brings up the shortstop, Ron Hansen. Ron batting at .220. Ron had a double and a single in last night's game. Bernie Allen at first, Valentine at second, Unser at third, 2 out. No score, last of the first inning. Here's the pitch. Check swing foul into the netting. 1 strike to Ron Hansen. Come on, Ronnie, let's boom one. We need a clutch base hit right here. Senators have had runners on during this 6-game losing streak, but unable to get the big base blow when it counted. 1 strike the count. Stevenson in motion. Here's the pitch. Tap foul behind the plate. 2 strikes to Ron Hansen. That was a curve from Jerry Stevenson. Senators with the bases jammed here in the last of the first and 2 out. Stevenson out ahead of Ron Hansen. Nothing in 2. Outfield playing him almost straightaway deep. Infield toward left and deep. The 2-strike delivery. Fastball hit on the ground wide of third. Joe Foy has it. Throws to first in plenty of time to retire Ron Hansen and the Senators here in the first inning. No runs, 2 hits for the Senators. No Boston errors. A walk and 3 men left. Into 1 inning of play. Senators nothing. Red Sox nothing.
The minor touch for your car. The Midas Touch is best by far.
Hold it. Stop the music.
And who are you, sir?
Midas, first name King.
You're the King Midas?
Who else? Here to complain. Yesterday, fella comes in with a noisy muffler, says he wants the Midas Touch, so I touched his car. Turned it into gold. He got mad. Darned embarrassing.
But King Midas, he wanted the Midas Touch that you get only at Midas Muffler Shop.
Midas Muffler Shop?
Coast to coast, U.S. and Canada. Fast, free installation on good-as-gold Midas mufflers that are guaranteed as long as you own your car. Replaced if necessary at any Midas Muffler Shop for a service charge only.
Hey, sounds good. Think I'll open up one of those Midas Muffler Shops myself.
Well, you've certainly got the name for it.
Get the Midas Touch for your car at any of the 7 Midas shops in the Washington area. See the yellow pages for the one nearest you.
Now for station identification, this is Washington Senators baseball.
Bob Dalton makes sense out of the world of high finance with 2 business reports on WTOP's Newsline AM.
Washington's news, information, and sports station, WTOP.
John McClain and Dan Daniels at D.C. Stadium. George Scott hits a slow bouncer toward third, charged by Hansen. The throw to first in time. Scott made it close by hustling down the line, but Hansen's throw beat him by a half a step. Scott came to bat, hitting an even 100. One away for Boston, and Rico Petrocelli, the shortstop, at bat. Rico hitting at .237. Outfield almost straight up. Here's the pitch from Ortega. He bluffed a bunt, and it was inside, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Ortega ready again, working back to Petrocelli, who pops a bunt onto the netting for a strike, and it's 1-1. With Frank Howard at first and Ron Hansen at third, both playing out of position, relatively speaking. Petrocelli trying to test them by bunting. 1-1 to Rico. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Petrocelli hasn't had many good cuts in this series, Dan.
He didn't take a good swing at that pitch. Apparently was fooled by it well outside. Very quick on the inside pitch, though.
1-2 the count to Rico Petrocelli. Ortega kicks and deals down low and outside. Fastball missing, and the count is even at 2-2. We're in the top of the second inning. Each side had a scoring threat in the first, could not capitalize. 2-2 to Petrocelli. Ground ball on a big hop to Brinkman. He plays it, guns a throw to first in time. Petrocelli's out by a step and a half. 2 out for the Red Sox, and here's Elston Howard, the catcher, batting at 176. And 176 average, a far cry from what Elston Howard would hit in his heyday with the Yankees. He drills this one on a line into left field for a base hit. Stroud on one knee comes up with the ball, throws towards second, and Howard is on with a ringing single to left field. Second hit off Phil Ortega. The hits are even. There is no score. And with 2 out, the batter is the pitcher, Jerry Stevenson. Stevenson, a left-hand batter. He is batting at .375, 3 hits and 8 at-bats. Ortega's pitch, right over above the knees for a called strike. Stevenson was giving ground at the plate on that pitch. Fell away quickly. 1 strike to count. Frank Howard not holding against Elston Howard, who is not a fast man at first. The pitch, high pop-up, Third baseman Hansen calls off Brinkman and makes the catch to retire the Red Sox in the second inning. No runs, a base hit for Boston, no Washington errors, and a runner left on. At the end of an inning and a half, it's Red Sox nothing, Senators nothing.
Are you fed up with your regular entertainment routine and you've seen all the local movies twice and they're not good for the kids to see anyway? Looking for a really great way to entertain the whole family? Well, what about taking the group to the ballpark some night? Too expensive? Not at all, if you belong to the Senators Booster Club. As a member of the Booster Club, you get tickets at reduced prices for every Booster Club night, and that's every Wednesday home game. You also get a handsome schedule showing all Senators home and Booster night games just so you won't forget. And there's even more. When you send us the stub attached to your booster card, you've got a golden chance at all the freebie Senators tickets WTOP Radio will be giving away throughout the baseball season. How do you get in on this deal? Just go to any store that sells Briggs, Bacon, and Meats. They'll have enough booster cards for your whole family. So enjoy the game. And when you don't feel like going out at night, be sure to listen to the Senators on WTOP Radio.
Senator Farm Club at Buffalo in the International League, trailing Richmond tonight 4-1 at the end of 3 innings. Bill Dennehy was driven out in a 4-run flurry by Richmond, relieved by Jack Jenkins. Buffalo scored a run in the second inning. Bottom third of the order for the Senators, and left fielder Ed Stroud leads off. Ed batting at .282. Stroud with blazing speed. Foy acknowledges that fact by coming up to the edge of the inner diamond at third. Outfield straight away. The pitch to Stroud curved him high. 1-0 the count to Ed Stroud. Ed, born in Alabama, lives now in Warren, Ohio. 1-0 pitch is a drag bunt wide of first. Scott up with it, bobbles it, and safe at first is Ed Stroud. Let's see how they're going to score that. It would have been mighty close that Scott made a clean play, and Stroud is credited with a base hit. Well, he went the other way with it. He dragged it along the first baseline.
I think Scott realized the play would be close even had he come up with the ball cleanly, and he tried to hurry it just a little bit.
Shortstop Ed Brinkman at bat. Eddie, who has only been to bat 6 times, has 1 hit, batting at .167. The set by Stevenson. The look to first, the pitch. A pitch out, but Stroud wasn't going anywhere. Alston Howard thought perhaps the Senators would be playing hit and run with Brinkman and Stroud, or that Stroud would be moving. The pitcher, Phil Ortega, is next up. The set by Stevenson. The pitch to Brinkman. High pop-up foul off first base. Scott going over, and it's out of play. 3 rows back in the lower stand.
And Eddie was trying to go to right field to move the runner around.
1-1 the count to Ed Brinkman. Before he moves back into the batter's box to face Stevenson. Takes a long look toward third base coach Bobby Hoffman. See if Ed Stroud is doing anything at first. Scott holding against the runner there. Ed into a lead. There he goes. The pitch is off the mitt of Howard, rolls away from him. He charges it quickly, and a stolen base for Ed Stroud. He steals it unmolested. Well, I think Alston Howard saw it coming, and he tried to make the catch of a low outside pitch and throw in the same motion. And he dropped it. Stroud credited with a stolen base. He got a terrific jump that time on Jerry Stevenson. Stroud's third stolen base. Petrocelli bluffing him back to the bag. The pitch to Brinkman, and it is a balk as Stevenson slipped off the mound. And
how long has it been since you saw that?
Well, that was very unusual, and it seems that Stevenson may have hurt himself in doing that. He was into his stretch and started to throw to the plate, and suddenly apparently caught his spikes in the pitching rubber and nearly fell down, and now he's flexing his arm. So Stroud is balked to third. And it's 2-1 to Brinkman. And now John Stevens motions to the Boston bench, pitching coach. Now that's manager Dick Williams and trainer Buddy LaRue going out to talk to Jerry Stevenson. One of the most amazing plays we have ever seen, Dan, in that regard, was at the Polo Grounds in New York. Leo DeRocher was then managing the Giants, and he called a big side-arming right-hander in from the bullpen named Kurt Barclay. Barclay pitching out of a stretch to the catcher just warming up. Threw a pitch, caught his spikes in the rubber, fell down and twisted his ankle and had to be carried off the field. Of course, the rules say you have to pitch to one batter, but when you've only got one leg, they had to waive that rule and bring another pitcher in. Well, Jerry Stevenson is all right. Stroud, who beat out a bunt for a base hit, stole second and was balked to third by Jerry Stevenson.
Stevenson okay except for his dignity, perhaps.
And now the Red Sox bring the infield in for a play at the plate on Stroud. Stevenson's pitch, ball 3, high and inside. And Ed Brinkman is out ahead, 3-1 now. Backs out to look to third base coach Bobby Hoffman. Stevenson ready, throws. Ground ball to the shortstop Pepperselli. Holds Stroud at third and throws out Brinkman at first. Brinkman grounds out short to first. No chance for Stroud to come in. Pepperselli held the ball and looked Stroud to a stop at third, then threw out Ed Brinkman at first. Phil Ortega, the pitcher at bat. Phil is one of the better bunters on the club. We'll see if Jim Lemon goes to the squeeze. One man out. Here's the pitch. Bounces over. Howard hits the screen and Stroud scores. Another wild pitch. Charged to Jerry Stevenson. That pitch hit the front edge of the plate. Bounced 40 feet in the air and came 3/4 of the way up the screen. Well, whether he was going to bunt or not, it's academic now. The run is scored. The Senators lead 1-0. Second wild pitch charged to Jerry Stevens. Ball 1, of course, to Ortega. The pitch tapped foul at the plate. 1-1. Well, that's a play we practiced all spring, Dan, if you remember.
Better keep it in the book, I believe.
1-1 the count to Phil Ortega. Here's the pitch. Curved him inside high. Nothing like a drag bunt, stolen base, balk, and a wild pitch to strike terror into the opposition.
We get them any way we can.
And how? 2-1 is a called strike to Ortega. That evens the count at ball 2 and strike 2. Two and 2, the count to Phil Ortega. Stevenson into his windup again. He throws. Ball 3, over but low. Three and 2, the count to Phil Ortega. Del Unser is the on-deck hitter. Stevenson kicks and throws, and there's a ground ball to the second baseman. Jones has it, throws out Ortega for the second out of the inning. And with 2 down, the batter is center fielder Del Unser. He hacked a smash right past Stevenson, the pitcher, and on into center field for a base hit in the first inning. Foy again up close at third. The pitch to Unser. Over for a strike. Dell started to swing, checked up. 0-1 to Del Unser, and he's asking John Stevens, the plate umpire, to take a look at the ball. It's all right. One strike to Unser. Jerry Stevenson in motion. Change up high and away to Unser, to even the count at 1-1. Senators 1, the Red Sox nothing. We're in the last half of the second inning. The base is empty and 2 out. Stevenson's 1-1 delivery. A bluff bunt. The curveball is outside. 2-1 to Unser. Dell ran up. Zipped a bunt. Pitch out of the strike zone. 2 balls, strike 1 the count. Big hole in right center. The pitch. High pop-up. Foul. Elston Howard throws the mask aside and has it for the out. That ball must have done tricks. Well, he had to lunge. Oh, the Senators in the second inning score a run on 1 hit. There were no Boston errors, but there was a stolen base, a balk, and a wild pitch, which led directly to the run. Nobody left for Washington, and at the end of 2, it's Senators 1, Red Sox nothing.
This is the human heart, beating out the rhythm of life. For 10,000 people, each beat is powered by a tiny battery. A battery buried inside the body to keep a heart beating for years without replacement. Now, the same type of battery, the Duracell battery, can give long life to your transistor radio. Radios vary, but Duracell batteries have played transistor radios over 1,000 hours. Duracell batteries, the long-distance power cells, outlast any ordinary battery. The same type of battery that keeps a heart beating for years can bring long life to anything powered by batteries. Dura, as in durable. Cell, as in power cells. The Duracell battery, made by Mallory.
Insist on Duracell, the long-distance power cell. It outlasts any ordinary battery.
Right
Duracell, made by Mallory.
Dan, come back.
Okay, John, Foy in the top of the Red Sox order here in the third, and Ortega's into the windup. His pitch is outside a ball. Foy took a third strike in the first inning, 0-1. Red Sox with 2 hits, a single to right by Dalton Jones, a base hit to left by Elston Howard. Washington 1-0. Dalton Jones on deck. 1-0 pitch. Foy swings, ground ball wide of third to his left. Good pickup by Hanson. On to Howard for the out, and that's 1 away. 1 gone in the Boston third. The batter is the second baseman, Dalton Jones. Looping fly ball to right for a base hit in the first. Later moved to second on an error, but Ortega got the side as Reggie Smith popped out. Still is 1-3 and lost 2. Right-hander's pitch to Jones. Off the outside edge, ball 1. Last year, Ortega lost to the Red Sox. That was his only decision. Lifetime record, 4-4 against Boston. 1-0 pitch. Jones fouls it back, and the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. Ortega, by the way, lost to Jerry Stevenson at Fenway Park last year. One ball, 1 strike to Jones at bat with 1 out. Ortega's pitch is high. Ball 2, 2-1.
Well, a reminder again that Detroit comes in tomorrow night, Friday night game at 8. And Saturday and Sunday afternoon single games at 1:30. 2-1 pitch coming. High, ball 3. Pitch took off on Ortega. And the count goes to 3-1. Jones, a left-handed batter, and he's being played to pull. 3-1 on the way. Here it is. Ball 4, missed low outside, and so Jones takes his base. Ortega has given up his first walk and now faces Carl Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski, a strikeout victim in the first. Yastrzemski batting at .241. About 85 points under the average. He completed 1967. One out, Howard around the hole with Jones. The pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Strike one.
Changed his pitching pattern that time to Carl, Dan. He got 2 changeups in the strike zone the first time. The second time at bat, he just blew the fastball in there.
Yastrzemski, it appeared, complained a little bit with plate umpire Stevens. Just a word to him. Ortega's 1-strike pitch. There's a line drive on the changeup right by Phil Zier to center field, a base hit. Hunter's up with it, throws toward third, and it is not in time. Jones goes to third. Yastrzemski holds at first. Hunter made a good strong throw to third, but Jones beat the play. Yastrzemski hit that changeup hard, whistled it right by Ortega's right ear. And the Red Sox now with the threat working. Runners at first and third and 1 away. That's their third hit. Batter is Harrelson, who was safe on an error, bobbled at third by Hansen in the first inning. 1 out, runners at first and third for the Red Sox. Senators in front 1-0. Harrelson, who, as is his custom, takes a little time before stepping in, looks down to Eddie Popowski, the Red Sox third base coach. Ortega comes to the belt, and the pitch. Strike, a breaking ball to the outside part, strike one. Ortega, 1-strike count on Harrelson. Dalton Jones at third base and Carl Yastrzemski at first. Infield hoping for the double play ball right here. Set by Ortega. 1-strike pitch. High foul, no play. Off to the right and into the stands. And the count is out to 2 strikes on the Hawk, Harrelson. Ken backed away, went over to the on-deck ring, touched up the bat handle with a pine tar cloth. And the count 2 strikes on Harrelson, who's back in now to face Ortega again. Dalton Jones ready to lead at third, Yastrzemski at first. Here's the set, and the 2-strike pitch. Ground ball hit to the shortstop, Franklin. He goes to second for 1. On to first, double play! Bernie Allen did a fine job at second base on that double play. Yastrzemski came in on him hard, and Bernie stood his ground. He got a good, strong throw to Howard. No runs, a hit. No errors, a man left. And at the middle of the third, Washington 1 and the Red Sox 0.
The sports fan that lives in and around Washington is a rather unique individual. More often than not, this fan is migrated to the nation's capital from other areas, and his loyalties are divided. As WTOP's radio sports director, I acknowledge and work with that constantly in mind. You hear more than just the score on WTOP radio, because as a fan who's interested in not only the Washington Senators, the Whips, and the Skins, you are interested in how the old home team won the game and how many spitballs the pitcher may or may not have thrown. And more important, who the guy is. We also recognize the fact that sport fans like nothing better than to get together and argue the merits of one of the pros. When it comes to sports, WTOP Radio is sports. It is sports in depth with the inside story about the hometown club. Not only the Washington clubs, but your home club as well. If you'll leave the dial set at 150, you'll get all the sports. This is Warner Wolf, WTOP Radio Sports Director, and I'll be around shortly, so don't go away.
On the scoreboard here at the stadium, the magic message, you're welcome to the Kiwanians and their guests here at the ballpark tonight as Washington leads it by 1-0. Valentine to lead off in the last of the third. Fred with a chop single to first base. He's 1 for 1. Fred batting left-handed against the Boston right-hander Stevenson, and the pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Strike one. Valentine, Howard, and Bryan here in the last of the third. One strike pitch. In the dirt, ball one, 1-1. In the game at Atlanta, the Braves came up with 2 in the last of the second. Behind the former basketball star Ron Reed, the Braves lead Pittsburgh and Bob Moose 2-0 at the end of 2. 1-1 to Valentine. High, foul, no play. Straight back, strike 2, 1-2. Well, Buffalo coming back a little bit down at Richmond. Richmond 4 and Buffalo 2 at the end of 5 innings. Richmond got 4 runs in the first inning. That included a 2-run homer by Chuck Harrison. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a ground ball foul. Beyond Fox at first, and the count is 1-2. At Houston tonight at the Astrodome, the Astros scored twice in the first, including a home run by Ron Davis, nobody on. Houston 2, San Francisco nothing at the end of 1. Mike McCormick is pitching for the Giants. Now pitches high, 2-2 to Fred Valentine. Phillies 2, Reds 2 at the end of 2 innings. Larry Jackson against Milt Pappas. The Dodgers blanked the Cubs today, 6-0, 3-hitter for Singer, home runs by Versailles, Bailey, and Colavito. 2-2 to Valentine, lead batter here in the last of the third, and the pitch by Stevenson. Swing and a miss, he fooled him. Fred strikes out on a breaking pitch. Stevenson took quite a bit off, and that's the third strikeout for the Red Sox right-hander. Now here's Frank Howard, who hasn't had a hit in the Boston series. Red Sox with nobody on base, pull an overshift, moving forward. Petroselli and Jones to the left of second base. Frank would like to get started again. Stevenson winds, pitches. Strike. Breaking ball to the inside part. Frank just a few days ago was up to 351, but dropped off now to 307. Here's the one-strike pitch in the dirt. Or Stevenson has hit in front of the plate at least 3 or 4 times, apparently trying to get a little extra on the pitch. Holding on a bit too long, and just such a pitch cost him a run as Stroud was wild pitched home in the second. 1-1 to Frank. Howard swings, ground ball, base hit between Foy and Petroselli against the overshift, and Frank is on with a base hit. That's number 4 for the Senators. They lead the Red Sox 4 hits to 3 and 1-0 on the score. Here's catcher Bill Bryan. The Senators' injury list, at least for the time being, shows no signs of easing up. Camilo Pascual had to leave after 2 innings last night with an ailing back. Ken McMullen says his hand is about the same. The pitch to Bryan. Strike right over. Fastball inside corner. Strike 1. Mike Epstein pitched a little bit of batting practice tonight, but has not been able to do much hitting in some 6 days now. The pitch. Bryan takes a curve low. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the Red Sox, Jim Lonborg, pitched 15 minutes of batting practice before the game. His control was better than it was just a couple of nights ago when he also threw for 15 minutes. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bryan. Howard leads at first. The pitch. Ball 2 inside. 2-1. One on, 1 out in the last of the third. Washington 1, the Red Sox nothing. Bryan, a left-handed batter, and the Boston defense has swung around. Stevenson sets. 2-1 pitch. High with a fastball. 3-1. Scott has not been holding with Howard at first base. Ellie Howard, the Red Sox catcher, walked the ball in front of the plate. Fired it back to Stevenson. Sign being given now. Stevenson checks, and the pitch. Swing and a bouncing ball, foul to first baseman Scott, and the count goes to 3-2. So 3-2 now to Bill Bryan with Frank Howard at first base and 1 out. Let's see if Lemon has Howard moving with Bryan at bat and 1 out. Now Scott is going to hold with Frank. There he goes. Pitches ball 4. Howard was going.
And in disgust, Reggie Smith out in center field took off his glove and slammed it on the ground.
Well, Frank, I remember it at a Wahoo Club luncheon in Cleveland one day. Frank said, well, I stole 2 bases one year, both on hit and run. Catcher cut the ball each time. So Howard at second base and Bryan at first to Bernie Allen now. The pitch by Stevenson is a curve in for a strike. Strike 1. Let's pause for station identification. This is Washington Senators baseball.
What's with Washington's weather around the country? Catch up on WTOP's Newsline AM each morning.
Washington's news, information, and sports station, WTOP.
Ground ball by Bernie Allen toward third. A foul ball taken by Foy near the bag. He hoped to start a double play, but it's ruled foul by both plate umpire Stevens and third base umpire Getz, and the count is out to 2 strikes on Bernie Allen. Bernie was walked, an intentional walk in the first. After the count reached ball 3, Stevenson purposely put Bernie Allen on. Now he's ahead of him 2 strikes. With the score, Washington 1, the Red Sox nothing. Frank Howard is at second base and Bill Bryan at first. Oh, 0-2. Stevenson sets. And the pitch. Bernie strikes out. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball up and in. Stevenson now has fanned 4. That's 2 outs. The batter is Ron Hansen. Out on a ground ball to Foy. In the first 3 innings, a lot of chances against Stevenson. The bases left loaded in the first. A run scored in the second, and we've had 2 on here in this inning. Hansen would like to pick up at least 1 right here. Bryan at first and Frank Howard at second. Stevenson sets and pitches. Right in there for a strike. Strike 1. Score is Washington 1, Boston nothing. Senators are batting in the last of the third. Wrap-up game in the series here. Now Stevenson ready again. Works to Hansen. Swing and a miss on a curve. Strike 2. And he took something off that pitch. Hansen going for a low outside delivery by Stevenson, and he's out ahead. 2 strikes. Stevenson is. Stevenson again ready. The pitch. Ball in the dirt, and that's picked up neatly by Elston Howard. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count now. One to nothing Washington with the 1-2 count on Hansen. Frank Howard ready to go at second base and Bill Bryan at first. Stevenson wants Ellie Howard to run the signs again. Okay, is it now? And 1-2. The pitch on the way. Hansen takes a little high for ball 2, and Stevenson wanted that pitch. A 2-ball, 2-strike count to Ron Hansen with Frank Howard at second base and Bill Bryan at first. Pretty good gap for Hansen in right center. Smith is pulled over a little bit to left center. Now here's the set. Stevenson ready. And the pitch. Ball 3. Goes all the way to 3-2 now with 2 on and 2 out. The runners have to start now. Stevenson looking to Elston Howard. Plants back to Hondo leading at second. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 loads him up for Ed Stroud. That pitch was down. Frank Howard moves to third. Bill Bryan down to second. The second walk of the inning and the third of the game by Stevenson, and the Red Sox bullpen starting around again. Stroud beat out a bunt single, moved to second on a stolen base, took third on a balk, and scored on a wild pitch for the only run of the game so far. He had a left-handed batter, and Stevenson now will work from a windup. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. Petroselli has it. He goes to Jones at second, forcing Hansen, and the bases are left loaded for the second time in 3 innings. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 3 left on base, and at the end of 3, it's the Senators 1 and the Red Sox nothing.
If you're about to borrow money, here's some good advice from Household Finance, the company that's been helping people for 90 years. HFC says before you sign on the dotted line, know what your loan will cost. When you borrow, you'll pay for the use of that money. So that's why HFC always tells you in advance what the cost of your loan will be. And HFC gives it to you straight in dollars and cents. Everything is right there. No hidden charges, no surprise charges. Of course, Household recommends never borrow money needlessly. But when you need money for any good reason, borrow from the company that gives you this added assurance. Before you sign on the dotted line, you'll know what your loan will cost. That's Household Finance. At Household Finance, you can borrow up to $1,500. HFC has 24 conveniently located offices around the Washington, D.C. area. See your phone book for the address of the office nearest you.
In the International League game at Richmond tonight, at the end of 6 innings, Richmond 5, Buffalo 3. The third Buffalo run on a home run by Bob Chance, who's had a pretty good home run season so far for the Buffalo club. But 5-3 Richmond at the end of 6. And here it's Washington, a run on 4 hits with 1 error and 6 left on through 3 innings. The Red Sox, no runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 4 left on. Reggie Smith in the top of the 4th inning to face Ortega. Pitches line down the right field line. A fair ball into the corner. Valentine has to run it down. Here's Smith going for second, and he's going to pull in with an easy double. Smith, batting at .225, wraps the first pitch into the right field corner to start off the 4th inning. The batter now will be the first baseman, George Scott. Red Sox have even the hit total now, 4 apiece. Single by Dalton Jones, single by Elston Howard, a single by Yastrzemski, and a double by Reggie Smith. Scott went out on a ground ball to Hansen in the second. Ortega sets, looks to Smith at second and pitches a ground ball to third. Hansen is up with it, checks Smith back to second and throws out Scott.
So that's one gone as the Red Sox here in the fourth are going for the first pitch. Rico Petrocelli, the batter, grounded out to Brinkman in the second. Petrocelli at .237 for the year. Right-handed batter. Ortega to the set and the pitch. Ground ball hit to the shortstop. To his left is Brinkman. Has to hurry. Throws low to Howard. Good pickup by Frank at first. Out. And Smith takes third. Frank made a good pickup of a low throw. Brinkman had to hurry it to his left near second base. He made the out on Petrocelli. Smith took third, and with 2 outs, the batter will be Elston Howard.
I'll tell you, Dan, that 6-7 stretch comes in handy.
Even so, close play at first to get Petrocelli for the second out of the inning. Let's see what they'll do now with Elston Howard. Their pitcher, Stevenson, is on deck. Hanson came over. Bryan came out to talk with Ortega. They're going to pitch to Elston, but chances are he won't see very much to hit. From the windup now, Ortega's pitch. Ball 1, low outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Reggie Smith at third with 2 outs. Ortega winds again. The 1-0 pitch. Ball 2 high outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Everything out away from Howard here on these 2 pitches to Elston. Ortega's 2-0 pitch. Off the outside corner for ball 3. Now Bryan looks into the dugout, and they're going to complete the walk to Elston Howard intentionally. Here is ball 4, purposely wide, so an intentional base on ball. Second of the ball game by Ortega, and it brings on the Boston pitcher, Jerry Stevenson. Coming into the game, Stevenson was 3 for 8. But in the second, he popped up to Hanson. Good warm evening here at the ballpark, and Stevenson's uniform shirt drenched with perspiration. Batting left-handed against Ortega with Reggie Smith at third base and Elston Howard at first. Ortega pitches high outside, ball 1. One to nothing Senators. The Red Sox at the plate in the top of the fourth. 1 ball, no strike count to Stevenson. There's a swing and a miss. 1-1. Ball was a foul tip to the glove of Bryan for a strike. 1-1. Ortega to the set now. Looks to the runners and the pitch. Ground ball back to the mound, off the glove of Ortega. Nobody will be able to make a play. Reggie Smith scores, and it's 1-1. Well, a little tap back to Ortega, who tried to slow it down on the first hop. It ticked off his glove. Brinkman finally picked it up, but he couldn't make any play, and Stevenson is credited with an infield hit. Smith came in to score. Howard took second base. Well, had the ball gone on by Ortega, chances are Fernie could have made the play easily, the second baseman, but of course the pitcher wants to flag down anything he can, and he just ticked off his glove. So it's 1-1, an RBI for the pitcher Stevenson, and now to third baseman Joe Foy. That was the 5th Red Sox hit of the game. Foy has taken a third strike and grounded out. Breaking ball low, ball 1. Red Sox won, Senators won in the 4th inning. 1-0 to Foy. Ball 2, a little low. 2 balls, no strikes. Ortega stares down to Stevens. Wants to know about that last pitch. Ellie Howard at second base. Jerry Stevenson at first. The 2-0 pitch. High fly ball, center field. Should be an easy chance for Unser. To his right, in a few steps. There's the catch, and the inning is over. But the Red Sox tie it up. A run on 2 hits. A walk and 2 men left on base. And at the middle of the 4th inning, it's the Red Sox 1, Senators 1.
Looking for a place to borrow money? Why not go where you get something extra at no extra cost? That's Household Finance. And the extra? Nationwide credit. Yes, when you've established credit in any HFC office, you've got credit in all 1,500 HFC offices nationwide. HFC Credit nationwide can be your loan away from home if you're ever in a strange place and short of money. And here's something else. Whenever you borrow from Household, you're told the cost of your loan before you borrow. Need money now? See the folks who say,
before you sign on the dotted line, know what your loan will cost.
That's Household Finance.
At Household Finance, you can borrow up to $1,500. HFC has 24 conveniently located offices around the Washington, D.C. area. See your phone book for the address of the office nearest you.
Jerry Stevenson was a base runner in the top of the inning, so he's just now beginning to take his warm-up tosses. We'll check the scoreboard quickly. Atlanta Braves 2, Pittsburgh nothing at the end of 3. Reed for the Braves, Moose for Pittsburgh. Houston 2, San Francisco 1 at the end of 2. Justy against McCormick. Ron Davis homered for the Astros in the first. The Phillies 4, the Reds 2 at the end of 3. Larry Jackson against Milt Pappas. No other games scheduled tonight, and the Dodgers this afternoon beat the Cubs 6-0. 3-hitter for Singer defeated Holtzman. Versailles, Bailey, and Colavito homered. American League has 2 night games later. Minnesota at California and Chicago at Oakland. Other clubs are not scheduled. And in the International League game down at Richmond, Dick Smith, the former NC State football and baseball player, hit a home run for Buffalo in the 7th with nobody on. And Larry Maxey has now come on to pitch for Richmond in relief. That score is 5-4 now. Richmond in the 7th inning. All right, Eddie Brinkman to lead it off in the last half of the 4th inning. 1-1 ball game. And Stevenson's pitch, fly ball, center field. Smith drifting back is there, and he makes the catch. Brinkman on the first pitch, out on a fly ball. He's now 0 for 2. Grounded to Petrocelli and flies out. And the pitcher, Phil Ortega. Red Sox a run on 5 hits. The Senators a run on 4 hits with an error. Here's Ortega. Takes low, ball 1. Phil went out on a ground ball to Jones at second base in the 2nd. Stevenson pitches. There's a foul sliced into the stands. Right side, 1-1. Boy, what you'd give for a big inning. A couple of chances for him tonight. One ball, 1 strike count to Ortega. And the curve is in there. Strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Senator hits by Del Unser, Fred Valentine, Frank Howard, and Ed Stroud. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And it's inside. Off-speed delivery by Stevenson, 2-2. Remember, Sunday afternoon will be ball day here at the ballpark. Now 2-2. Ortega takes strike 3. Big breaking ball is over. And it's 5 strikeouts for Stevenson. 2 out. The batter is Unser, 1 for 2, a single. Here's the pitch to Dell, way outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Run scored in the 2nd for Washington. Ed Stroud
drag bunt single, moved around on a stolen base, a balk and a wild pitch, and an infield hit drove in a run for the Red Sox in the fourth. 1-0 delivery. Fastball is in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stevenson with the inside edge fastball. 1-1 now to Unser. Foy uptight at third, and infield and outfield swung around to the left. Red Sox outfield doesn't move as far to the left as most American League clubs. Curve is outside, 2-1. Well, the Indians had their left fielder only 30 or 40 feet from the foul line a couple of times, and Cardinal playing center field was way over to left center. Red Sox don't shift that much. 2-1 pitch. Foul, sliced into the stands, left side, 2-2. One ball game. The Red Sox scoring in the fourth to tie it here. We're in the last of the fourth inning. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball toward first. It is a foul ball. Scott makes the pickup and foul by about a foot at the bag, and the count remains at 2-2 on Unser. Pitching change for Buffalo in that game at Richmond. Dick Lines is now on in the 7th. 2 out, nobody on base in the fourth. Two-two pitch. Ground ball hit sharply to Scott at first. He has it easily, steps on the bag, and it's the best inning so far for Stevenson. 3 up, 3 down. End of 4 complete. Red Sox 1, Senators 1.
If you're looking for a place to borrow money, you should know this about Household Finance. As an HFC customer, you have credit from A to Z. How does it work? Well, when you've established credit at Household, you've got cash credit nationwide at more than 1,500 HFC offices from Anaheim, California to Zanesville, Ohio. In other words, from A to Z, HFC credit nationwide can be your loan away from home if you're ever in a strange place and short of money. So if you need to borrow money, choose the company that gives you credit from A to Z. The company that promises before you sign on the dotted line, you'll know what your loan will cost. That's Household Finance. At Household Finance, you can borrow up to $1,500. HFC has 24 conveniently located offices around the Washington, D.C. area. See your phone book for the address of the office nearest you.
Now, fans, as we go into the 5th inning of a 1-1 ball game, we'd like to announce that WTOP is considering the addition of another broadcaster to the team of yours truly, Dan Daniels and John McLean, with the purpose of adding, hopefully, a new dimension, a new interest, a new color to the broadcast. And to start it off, you'll be hearing several in the weeks to come. We present the sports director of WTOP Radio in Washington, D.C. Here's Warner Wolf. Warner?
Thank you, Dan. Here's the first pitch to Jones, outside for a ball. Jones, Yastrzemski, and Harrelson for the Red Sox here in the 5th, 1-1. Stevenson against Ortega. Dalton Jones, left-handed batter. Singled in the first, walked in the third. Ortega looking in for the sign from Bill Bryan. Here's your 1-ball pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Howard gloves it at first. Easy play. Race to the bag. Howard wins it. 1 gone. Frank Howard makes the play unassisted. Here's Yastrzemski. 1 for 2. Struck out in the first and singled in the third. Yastrzemski came into this game batting .241. 2 for 6 in the first 2 games of the series. Stroud pulled over towards center field. Yastrzemski holds the bat high. Left foot on the outside of the batter's box. Here's your pitch. Outside, ball 1 from Ortega. Ortega has allowed 5 hits. Stevenson 4. Senator scored on a wild pitch, and the Red Sox scored on Stevenson's infield hit. 1-1. We're in the 5th. Harrelson on deck. 1 ball to Yastrzemski. Outside, ball 2. Hansen in the third. Brinkman deep on the outfield grass at short. Allen on the outfield grass at second. Pitch. Strike and a delayed call by Mr. Stevens. 2 balls and a strike. Giants tied that game with the Astros 2-2 in the third. Phillies 4-2 over the Reds in the fourth. 2 balls and a strike to Yastrzemski. Wiggles the bat. Ortega, the wind, pitch, swung on, ground ball right at Brinkman. He has it behind the bag. Long throw to first, in time for the out. Yastrzemski's down 6-3 if you're scoring. Short to first, and here's Harrelson. Harrelson has had a rough series. Came into this series leading the American League. He's gone 0 for 7 in the first 2 games, 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for 9. Ken Harrelson reached first on an error, Hansen's error in the first inning, and grounded into a double play in the third. Right-handed batter, wears number 40 on the back. Pitch inside, ball 1. Harrelson ducks away, wears tape on his wrist. Ortega stares into Bill Bryan. The wind-up pitch. Swung on ground ball third base. Hansen behind the bag. Long throw to Howard. In time for the out. The Red Sox are up 1-2-3. So we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The score, Senators 1, Red Sox 1.
Before you sign on the dotted line, know what your loan will cost.
A good suggestion from Household Finance, the company that's been helping people for 90 years. HFC says, before you sign on the dotted line, know what your loan will cost. You'll know at Household, because HFC tells you plainly in dollars and cents what the cost of your loan will be. Household also advises, check the cost wherever you plan to borrow, just as you'd check the price if you were buying something. Then visit the company that says,
before you sign on the dotted line, know what your loan will cost.
That's Household Finance.
At Household Finance, you can borrow up to $1,500. HFC has 24 conveniently located offices around the Washington, D.C. area. See your phone book for the address of the office nearest you.
Bottom of the 5th inning, 1-1. Valentine, Howard, and Bryan for the Senators. Valentine, the switch hitter, batting left against the right-handed pitching Stevenson. Freddie singled in the first inning, struck out in the third, came into this game hitting 189. 2 for 8 in the series, so make it 3 for 10. Here's your pitch to Valentine. Outside corner for a strike. Boy plays in on the grass at third. Petrocelli, normal shortstop. Normal second base for Jones. Here's your pitch. High, ball 1. 1-1 to Freddie Lee Valentine. Ellie Fox takes his hat off, coaching down at first. Bobby Hoffman claps it up at third. On deck is Howard. On a muggy night in Washington, Jerry Stevenson, 1-1 pitch swung on, foul ball down the right side, hits the barrier, and the bat boy leaves his seat, picks up the ball and throws it into the other bat boy. A ball and 2 strikes to Valentine. Holds the bat down on the end. The fans begin to clap it up. You're 1-2 to Valentine. Swung on, line drive, base hit in right center. Harrelson runs over to cut it off. Does so, backhands it, throws into second, and Valentine's on with a single. Valentine 2 for 3 tonight. And here's Howard. Howard got his first hit of the series in the third inning. 1 for 9 in this series. Came into this game hitting .307. Frank Oliver Howard. Where's number 9 on the back? Stevenson checks Valentine at first. Here's your pitch. Swing and a miss. Foul tip off the glove of Howard. 1 strike. Ellie Howard. Ellie Howard with his glove apparently hit Howard's finger, his left hand. He's all right. 1 strike to Frank. Valentine at first. Nobody out. Bottom of the 5th. 1-1. Stevenson taking his time now to the stretch. Looks over at Valentine. Here's your pitch. Inside. Ball 1. 1-1. Bill Bryan on deck. Bryan batting cleanup tonight. Howard takes some phantom swings. He's ready. Here's your pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes to Howard.
Warner, they got the bullpen going again. The right-hander Ray Culp up, and this time it's Landis, Bill Landis, a left-hander.
Ball and 2 strikes to Howard. Valentine with his lead off first. Fakes a jump. Here's the pitch. Swung on ground ball outside the line. Foy back in. And Howard broke his bat on that one. And the numberless bat boy brings Frank out a new bat. Astros scored 1 in the bottom of the 3rd, 3-2 on Jimmy Wynn's home run. He hit one yesterday. 3-2 Astros over the Giants after 3. All right, Valentine at first, nobody out. A ball and 2 strikes to Howard. 1-1, bottom of the 5th. Here's your pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2-2. Ray Culp warming up in that bullpen. Ray Culp, big year, his rookie year with the Phillies. Well, his second year, he won 14 games. Not much after that. Valentine off first. Scott holds 2-2 to Howard. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him. Howard fans for the second time tonight. And here's Bryan. Howard takes his batting helmet off as he walks to the dugout. Bryan takes a few swings outside the box, looks down at Bobby Hoffman. Left-handed batter, wears number 14. Was in a trade from Kansas City to the Yankees with Freddie Talbot. Valentine off first. There goes Valentine. Swung on ground ball. Let it go up the middle to center field. Valentine takes a turn at second. He'll go into third as he loses his hat. Smith throws it into second. And Bryan's on with a base hit. Valentine calls time, picks up his hat. Valentine does not wear the customary hat and protective helmet. He has an inner lining. Here's Bernie Allen, hottest man on the Senators. Came into this game, 5 hits in his last 6 times at bat, 5 for 8 in the series, 0 for 1 tonight, so he's 5 for 9. Here's your pitch to Allen. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Bernie Allen wears number 7, left-handed batter. Hitting .333 coming into tonight's game. 1 for 2, walked in the, another 0 for 1, walked in the first inning and struck out in the 3rd. 1-1, bottom of the 5th. Stevenson checks the runners. Pitch. Low ball. 1-1. Bryan at first, Valentine at 3rd. Valentine takes a short lead off 3rd. Foy in on the grass at 3rd. Bernie Allen. Where's the golf glove on the right hand? Here's your 1-1 to Allen. Swung on. Ground ball. High hopper over the mound.
Here's the only one play to first, in time for the out. Valentine scores, and Bryan moves to second. Bill Bryan did a smart thing. He stopped in the base path to be sure that the second baseman, Jones, couldn't make the tag on him coming down, enable Valentine to come in with a go-ahead run. Good bit of base running there. Give Bryan an RBI. The Senators lead 2-1. I'd rather give Bernie Allen the RBI. Bryan moves down to second with 2 outs, and here's Hansen. Hansen 0 for 1 tonight. 3 for 7 in the series. Bryan with a short lead. Hansen steps out. We'll pause after this pitch for station identification. 2-1, the Senators lead it. Bottom of the 5th inning. 2 outs. Bryan at second. Hansen your batter. The pitch, swung on, ground ball, third base. Foley outside the line, foul ball. We'll pause 15 seconds for station identification. This is Washington Senators.
It's talk for mergers. You'll hear it in American with Bob Dalton each morning on WTOP's Newsline AM.
Washington's news, information, and sports station, WTOP.
One strike to Ronnie Hansen. He has 12 runs batted in with those 18 hits. Bryan off second. The pitch swung on, ground ball. That's Petrocelli, shortstop. Easy play. Throw to first in time for the out. The Senators are down in the 5th inning. 1 run, 2 hits. No Red Sox errors. 1 base runner left. After 5 complete, Senators 2, the Red Sox 1.
If you're about to borrow money, here's some good advice from Household Finance, the company that's been helping people for 90 years. HFC says, before you sign on the dotted line, know what your loan will cost. When you borrow, you'll pay for the use of that money. So that's why HFC always tells you in advance what the cost of your loan will be. And HFC gives it to you straight in dollars and cents. Everything is right there. No hidden extras, no surprise charges. Of course, Household recommends never borrow money needlessly. But when you need money for any good reason, borrow from the company that gives you this added assurance. Before you sign on the dotted line, you'll know what your loan will cost. That's Household Finance. At Household Finance, you can borrow up to $1,500. HFC has 24 conveniently located offices around the Washington, D.C. area. See your phone book for the address of the office nearest you.
We move on to the top of the 6th. The Senators lead it 2-1. Reggie Smith will lead it off for Boston, followed by Scott and Petrocelli. Smith 1 for 2, doubled in the 2nd inning, and scored the only run of the game for the Red Sox. Carl Reginald Smith. Wears number 7 on the back, left-handed batter. Came into this game hitting .225. Got a triple last night. Tega Wines pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Smith was originally signed by the Twins, and they try to make a shortstop out of him. And he made 41 errors during the season in the minor leagues, and they put him up for grabs, and the Red Sox grabbed him off, and Williams made him in first and infielder. Pitch fakes a drag bunt and actually tipped his bat. Foul. 2 strikes on Reggie. Tried to drag it. And, of course, opened up at second base for the Red Sox last year. Good center fielder, covers ground. 2 strikes to Smith. 2-1, Senators lead. We're in the 6th. Senators trying to break a 6-game losing streak. Ortega, Wines, pitch, inside, almost hit Smith. 2 strikes and a ball. The Tigers come to town tomorrow night. It'll be McLean against Barry Moore. McLean 4-0 this year. Then they'll play again Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon. 1-2 to Reggie. Pitch swung on, ground ball, first base. Howard in back of the bag. Loafs to the bag. Easy play for the out.
Howard unassisted. That's 2 plays for Howard unassisted tonight. There's 1 gone, and here's Scott.
Red Sox are getting to the lower part of the order, and so Dick Williams has Gary Rogenberg up in the bullpen now, another left-hander.
Another former Twin, too. Here's George Scott, big number 5. 0 for 2 tonight, 1 for 10 in the series. He's having a tough year. Pitch, low, ball 1. Hitting an even 100 coming into this game. It's about 200 points lower than last year's season average. Stroud deep in left field. Wears a red glove on his left hand. Your pitch, swung on, ground ball, third base. Hansen comes up with it, throws to first in time. The 2 gone, and here's Petrocelli. Third to first, 5-3 if you're scoring. Rico 0 for 2 tonight. Hitting .237. Born in Brooklyn. Where's number 6? Ortega stares in with both hands on his knees. Glove hand on his left knee. Here's your pitch. Swung on, fouled off right up here. And as the ball rolls down, you hear the familiar whistle. And the bat board grabs it. 1 strike to Rico. Hansen adjusts his cap down at third. Umpire's right on the line. Your 1 strike pitch outside. Ball 1. Blocked by Bryan. Throws it back to Ortega. 1-1. Say about 5,000 or 6,000 people out here tonight. Ortega rubs up the ball. Let's not put a jinx on Ortega, but he's done well in his gopher balls this year. Here's your pitch. Swung on. That's a glove hand backhand by Brinkman. Throw in the dirt. Scooped out by Howard in time for the out. Nice play by Brinkman and Howard. So the Red Sox are down 1, 2, 3 in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Senators 2, Red Sox 1.
Ever look at strangers in a crowd and wonder how many have a bill-paying problem like yours? The answer is plenty. Wonder how they'll solve it? Well, many of them will get a bill payer loan from Household Finance, the company that says never borrow money needlessly. So why not you? Clear up everything at once. Then have just 1 payment each month to HFC that's smaller than the monthly total you're now paying. Got bills to pay? Get a bill payer loan from the company that tells you the cost before you borrow. The folks who say,
before you sign on the dotted line, know what your loan will cost.
That's Household Finance.
At Household Finance, you can borrow up to $1,500. HFC has 24 conveniently located offices around the Washington, D.C. area. See your phone book for the address of the office nearest you.
Sixth, it'll be Stroud, Brinkman, and Ortega for the Senators. Senators lead at 2-1. Stevenson has allowed 6 hits, Ortega 5. Ortega has retired the Red Sox in order in the last 2 innings and appears to be getting stronger. Stroud, the left-handed batter, wears number 36. Edwin Marvin Stroud, hitting .282 coming into tonight's game, 0 for 4 in the 2-game series. 1 for 2 tonight. Singled and stole second in the 2nd inning. He takes the first pitch for a strike. Phillies over the Reds 4-2 after 5. Larry Jackson against Pappas. Braves lead the Pirates 2-0 after 5. Pitch, swing, and a miss, strike 2. Bob Moose against Reed, the former Detroit Piston. And, of course, they have DeBusschere, who's a former pitcher with the White Sox. Each man seems to have made the correct decision. 2 strikes to Stroud. Leading off the bottom of the 6th.
Stevenson, wind-up pitch, swung on. That's to be a line drive, base hit in the left center. Yastrzemski and Smith cut it off. Stroud holds up with a single as Yastrzemski fires into second. Stroud took the turn and made the choice to come back.
Yastrzemski made a good play to get to that ball. He cut it off, and even though he had to stop and go against his motion to throw to second, he could have made the throw to second in time to get Stroud. Ed wisely held it first.
So Stroud is 2 for 3 tonight. Here's Brinkman 0 for 2. Eddie 1 for 7 on the year. Got a bunt base hit in Tuesday night's game. Stroud leads off. Throw to first. He dives back in time. And I believe George Scott stubbed his left toe on the bag. He's all right. Scott holding now. Stevenson looks over at Stroud. Stroud throws the first in time. Stroud has already stolen one base. Stroud is back, rather. Not a close play. Brinkman up there with Ortega up next, and with their 1-run lead, Senators will probably not bunt, although Foy playing it close. Throw to first, low. Scott makes a nice play to get it. No play in time. So 3 straight throws to first.
Warner, now that the man is on, Williams has changed his bullpen assignments again. Ray Culp and Landis are up.
And the fans holler go for the creeper. He's got a good lead. This might be it. No, it isn't. Low, ball 1 on Brinkman. Well, it certainly brings the crowd to life. Exciting play to steal in baseball. Anticipation. Crowd gets in on the act. Scott holding Stroud. Stevenson to the stretch. He's thrown over 3 times. Here's your pitch. Brinkman fakes a bunt and takes a strike. 1-1. On the fake bunt, of course, Foy comes in at third. Scott comes in at first. Jones makes a motion from second to cover first base. And Petrocelli runs towards second. All right, 1-1 to Eddie. Here's your pitch. Swung on, fly ball right field. Harrelson should have an easy play. Backpedals now. Has it in range and pulls it in for the out. Stroud comes back to first. Brinkman 0 for 3 tonight. Well, he did try to go to right field at least. Here's Ortega. Ortega grounded out in the second and struck out in the fourth. 0 for 2. Throw to first, not in time. Unser on deck. Filomeno Ortega. Foy creeps in at third, expecting the bunt. And Stevenson steps off the rubber. All right, he's back now. Stroud with a short lead. Stroud going back and forth, catching Stevenson's eye. The pitch to Ortega, squares the bunt. Oh, it hits his back and knocks him over. The ball goes foul. He actually protected himself with the bat. Well, that ball would have hit him.
Stevenson wanted to make sure that tough job for Ortega to bunt. He almost drilled him high and tight.
Ortega looking down at Bobby Hoffman, who looks away, crosses his chest, up and down with a cap. Fingers, hands, palms. All right, Ortega back in. 1 strike to Ortega. Stroud at first. 2-1. Senators lead at bottom of the 6th. 1 out. Throw to first. A lob throw. And the fans get on Stevenson. They want to see Stroud go. Ortega back in the box now. No balls and 1 strike. Stroud with the lead. There he goes. Pitch outside for a ball. Throw down to second. He's in.
And he had it by a big margin. Got a good jump on Stevenson. Elsenhauer couldn't have got him with a howitzer. Not even close.
Stroud 2 for 2 tonight in stolen bases. Four stolen bases on the year for Ed Stroud. The 1-1 to Ortega, swung on line, drive right field, House near the line, can't get it, hits the line, fair ball. Here comes in for the run, and Ortega goes into second with a double. Stroud scores easily, and Ortega Ortega gets a run batted in double. Ortega calls time. He swings the ball inside the line. Harrelson had no play. In fact, that ball hit the line. 3-1 Senators. Give Ortega an RBI. He doesn't give many of those. Nellie Fox out to talk to Ortega, who has the warm-up jacket. Pirates scored 1 in the 5th. 2-1 Braves over the Pirates. Moose against Reed. Astros scored 1 more in the 4th and lead the Giants 4-2 after 4. McCormick against Justy. Phillies and Reds 4-2 in the 6th. Jackson against Pappas. Dodgers beat the Cubs today 6-0, a 3-hitter for Singer.
Hunter backed out. Wanted to give Ortega a little more time at second base. He was chugging the last 40 feet.
Ortega with a warm-up jacket and batting helmet. Here comes Dick Williams. No, that's not Williams. That's Darryl Johnson. Darryl Johnson coming out to the mound. That might be it for Stevenson. Williams was out earlier, but of course it was after Stevenson fell off the mound. That's it. That'll be all for Stevenson. They're going to call in the left-hander, Landis. So Stevenson goes 5 in the 3rd inning. Gives up 3 runs, all earned, 8 hits. He struck out 6 and walked 2. He cannot win the game. He can only be the loser. Well, they figure if Ortega gets a double off him, that's it, huh? Landis gets the ride from the green cart. Gives his warm-up jacket to the Red Sox bat boy in the towel, and he strolls to the mound. Stevenson takes the walk. It's a nice hand. Head down. You never see the pitchers walk with a head up when they leave. Didn't pitch bad ball. Senators left 3, 6, 7 men on base. And they got to him for a run in the 5th and 1 here in the 6th. Plus the 1 early in the 2nd inning, which he brought on himself with 2 wild pitches. Unser in the on decks. Now he stands up. He's ready to bat, and he watches Landis' motion. Looks for the pitches he throws. Unser, as do most players now, they have that rubber donut on the bat, which is given credit to Ellie Howard. This way the players can take their original bat to the on-deck circle and keep the same easy feel up, and they can take it to the plate. Used to see guys like Charlie Keller, Yogi Berra take 3 bats up. 1 of their own and 2 practice bats. They all use this donut now. Big red rubber band.
Warner, we didn't see too much of Landis the past several seasons. At Kansas City a bit in '63. Last year with Boston, he was in just 18 games and pitched only 26 innings. The Red Sox remember him for a game in September. He came on to get Eddie Matthews for a big out in the pennant drive. And the earned run average of 5.19. This year he has had no decisions and pitched only 5 innings to an earned run average of 5.40.
All right, let's see if we can increase that earned run average. 3-1, Senators lead it. Ortega on second. We're 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Del Unser the batter. Unser 1 for 3 tonight, singled in the 1st inning, popped out in the 2nd, and grounded out in the 4th. Delbert, Bernard, Unser. 3 for 6 in the series coming into tonight, 296 on the year. Your pitch to Unser, outside for a ball. The left-handed pitching of Landis, the left-handed batter Unser. Harrelson does not play Unser to pull, who pokes the ball to all fields, hits it where it's pitched. Yastrzemski plays Unser like a normal right-handed batter. Unser chokes up on the bat.
Sort of a spray hitter like Pete Runnels, who used to hit the left field a lot. Here's your 1-ball pitch. Swing and a miss, strike one. Just try to meet it. Nice, slow, easy swing. Ortega out on second. Three to 1. Senators lead at bottom of the 6th. Unser wears number 30 on the back. Surprised everyone except Jim Lemon, who said, "This is my center fielder." Here's your pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Pitch was low. 5,413 attendance tonight. Ball and 2 strikes to Unser. Valentine on deck. Ortega with a short lead off second. Reggie Smith straight away in center. Foy on the edge of the infield grass at third. Ortega looks around to see where Petrocelli is. Landis isn't going to beat any speed records either. Stares in. Elston Howard. He's ready now to the stretch. Looks over at Ortega. 1 and 2 to Unser. Swung on. Fouled off left field side. Into the stands. Takes a bounce. And a gentleman in the yellow shirt puts it up. Says, "I got it." Puts it up again. A ball and 2 strikes to Unser. Tigers come in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then the Senators hit the road, go to Boston, Cleveland, Detroit. Then the Yanks come in on the 20th and 21st, Monday and Tuesday nights. The White Sox on the 22nd and 23rd, Wednesday and Thursday. Here's your pitch. Swung on, ground ball, second base. Jones, only one play to first, in time for the out, and Ortega moves to third. 4-3 if you're scoring, second to first, and here's Valentine with Ortega at third. Valentine 2 for 3 tonight, singled in the first and singled in the fifth. He's 4 for 11 in this series. Came into the series, into tonight's game, hitting 189, 2 for 3. He's got to be over the 200 mark now. And for the first time tonight, Valentine will bat right-handed. 2 for 3 left-handed. Many people believe Valentine is a stronger hitter left-handed. Ortega on the outside of third base. He's not going anywhere. Valentine ready. Here's your pitch. He takes it low for a ball. Landis, after each pitch, comes off the mound. Fidgets with his cap. Looks around at Jones at second and Harrelson in right field. Fidgets again. Toes the rubber with his left foot. Bends over, looks in for the sign. Your 1-ball pitch to Valentine. Swung on, fouled off to the right. 1-1. And Landis comes in off the mound after every pitch. Well, he likes to take a walk. Gets lonely out there on the mound. Rubs up the new ball, shakes his head, looking into the dugout. Apparently, Williams hollering instructions how to pitch to Valentine. Landis wipes his brow, takes his hat off, puts it back. Once again, he's ready. Looks into Ellie Howard behind the plate. Valentine squares away. 1-1 to Freddie. Ortega third. 2 gone, and Valentine steps out. Picks up some dirt. Looks down at Hoffman. Foy kicks the dirt at third. Petrocelli takes his hat off. It would seem ball players would appreciate a faster worker, too. They can be on the toes. Here's your 1-1 to Fred.
Swung on, a ground ball, and Petrocelli makes a fine play to his left, throws to first in time for the out. Nice play by Rico. So the Senators in the bottom of the 6th inning score 1 run on 2 base hits. No Red Sox errors and 1 left. We go to the top of the 7th. The Senators 3, the Red Sox 1.
Well, the Tigers are coming in this weekend. Another big series, and it means another fun-filled day for the youngsters. Yes, sir, Sunday, May 12th, it'll be the day they give away free baseballs here at DC Stadium. With the Tigers coming in town and they're trailing Baltimore by just a half game, Briggs and the Senators will give away absolutely free 10,000 Wilson baseballs. Now, these are full-size regulation baseballs, just like the big leagues use. Every boy or girl under 14 years of age attending the game with an adult will be given a ball when tickets are presented at the gate. They're courtesy of Briggs and Company and the Senators. So make a special note, Sunday, May 12th, Briggs Free Baseball Day here at the stadium. We'll be glad to see you. The Senators will be glad to see you. Hoping to have you here rooting a victory against the Tigers, only a half game out. Come on out for your free baseball Sunday, May 12th.
We go to the top of the 7th inning. Some Red Sox fans on their feet for the 7th inning stretch. Ortega through his warm-up motions. They'll have Howard and probably a pinch hitter for Landis. There's Tarbell on the on-deck circle. And Foy. So Landis did a creditable job. Faced 2 men. Unser and Valentine got them both out with no damage. So Stevenson's record is complete. 3 runs, 8 hits. Here's Ellie Howard. Howard 1 for 1 tonight. Singled in the 2nd, walked in the 4th. Came into this game hitting 176. Ortega has retired the last 6 men, the last 7 men to face him. Pitch swung on and a base hit to left center. Unser comes in down on 1 knee, throws into 2nd, and Howard's on with a single. Here's Tarbell batting for Landis. And a right-hander will come in for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 7th. Tarbell hitting .263, 5 hits and 19 times at bat. Tarbell, of course, came up with the athletics and was involved in that trade to Boston with Ken Sanders and the pitcher Greeley, Gosger. That's left-handed. Where's number 12? Pitch. He takes it outside for a ball. Foy is on deck.
Jim Lemon has our bullpen going now. Right-hander Baldwin, left-hander Darrell Knowles. And it looks like Ray Culp will be the Boston pitcher.
Ortega to the stretch, looks over at Howard. Howard holding Howard. Pitch swung on, line drive right field. Valentine back, he's got it in range now, pulls it in, and Howard returns to first. Well hit ball right at Valentine. 1 gone, and here's Foy. Foy is 0 for 3 tonight. 2 for 11 in the series. Came into this game hitting .263. Foy, of course, came up the same year as Scott, and they were both third basemen. And Williams moved Scott over to first.
Imagine right about now, Lemon a little concerned. The last 2 pitches have been hit pretty hard, so he's got that bullpen going. Ortega did a lot of running on the bases.
Here's your pitch to Foy. Strike. Stevens is what you would call a slow caller. Some umpires call him faster than others. Here's your pitch. Inside, almost hit Foy. Backs away, 1-1. Ortega did do a lot of running in that 6th. He ran to second on his double, ran to third on the infield out, and, of course, ran home on the final out of the inning. 1-1 to Joe Foy. The pitch. Swung on. Line drive right field. That'll be in there for the base hit. Howard takes the turn at second. Holds up. Valentine throws in, and the Red Sox have 2 men on and only 1 out. Well, what would you do if you're Lemon? Is this the time before the roof falls in, if it will? Or do you let Ortega go? Baldwin and Knowles in the Senator bullpen. You've got a left-handed batter up for Jones. Jones is 1 for 2 tonight off Ortega. Singled in the first inning, walked in the third, and grounded out in the fifth. Foy at first, Howard at second. 1 out. Top of the 7th, Senators lead by 2, 3-1. Jones with his bat on his shoulder. Now he squares away. Ortega to the stretch. Nobody holding. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled off to the left. Bryan throws out a new ball to Ortega, who pounds it in his glove. Doesn't bother to rub it up. Hands on knees. Right foot on the rubber. To the stretch. Looks over the runners. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. 1-1. To James Dalton Jones. Jones hit .289 last year. Excellent pinch hitter and probably would have played for most ball clubs. Is by far an excellent fielder, but can do an adequate job. Here's your 1-1 pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to Jones. Foy at first, Howard at second. Senators lead at 3-1. We're in the 7th. Ortega has given up 7 hits. Red Sox have left 6 men on base. Here's your pitch. Swung on. Fly ball. Dead center. Unser coming in. Out goes Bernie Allen at second. Unser called, and Unser pulls it in for the out. 2 gone. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. This is Washington Senators baseball.
Charles McCord brings you Washington's only 15-minute local news roundup each morning at 8:15.
Washington's news, information, and sports station, WTOP.
Two out, 2 on. Here's Yastrzemski. The Yazoo kid. 1 for 3 tonight. 3 for 9 in the series. Left-handed batter. Where's number 8 on the back? Foy at first. Howard at second. The pitch. Outside, ball 1. Harrelson on deck. We're in the 7th. And Ortega throws the ball out. Stevens gives Bryan a new ball. Puts the old one in his pocket. And Bryan throws it back to Ortega. Yastrzemski puts the bat on the plate, measures, takes some phantom swings. He's ready. Ortega to the stretch. The runners lead. The pitch. Strike. 1-1. Yastrzemski thought it might have been a little low. He steps out, picks up some dirt, rubs his hands. Harrelson on deck uses a bat with a brown substance around the handle, sticky substance for a better grip. 1-1 to Yastrzemski. Foy at first, Howard at second. 3-1 Senators lead. 2 outs, top of the 7th. The pitch. Outside, ball 2. Yastrzemski looks down at Eddie Poposky. Bobby Doerr coaching at first. Poposky given credit for the resurgence last year of Rico Petrocelli. Yastrzemski down on the end of the bat. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch. Inside, ball 3. 3-1 to Yaz. Well, here's the guy you might want to give the hit sign to if you were Dick Williams. Although if he walks, you put runners at second and third, and a base hit would tie it. What do you do? That's what you're paid for. I would think if it's over, Yastrzemski, considering Yastrzemski's power, he would have to swing. Here's your 3-1. The pitch swung on. Ground ball, second base side. Allen, nice play. Throw to first. In time for the out. So Ortega pitches his way out of it. The Red Sox, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 big base runners left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. The Senators lead it 3-1.
When it comes to puffed, juicy Franks, everyone remembers the brand that's best, Briggs All-Meat Franks. But don't forget, so many other fun-to-fix, fun-to-eat meats come from Briggs. A zesty variety of hearty cold cuts, bologna and salami and liverwurst, and all your other Dutch lunch favorites. The most savory sausage with old-fashioned, just-made flavor comes from Briggs, too. In links or in country-style roll packages, Briggs Pure Pork Sausage puts delicious protein punch in breakfast and dresses up supper casseroles like macaroni and cheese. With a lean, tender, ready-to-eat Briggs ham in the refrigerator, you're always ready for any mealtime scene. Briggs are the flavor favorite meats that put appetizing spark into every meal. Only U.S.-inspected meats are used in the tried-and-true Briggs recipes. Remember, the B in Briggs means best. You'll find the U.S. Department of Agriculture seal stamped on every Briggs package.
Ray Culp is the 3rd Boston pitcher. Culp this year has lost 2. He has an earned run average of 9.49. He hasn't been too sharp. He's been bombed out in his 2 starts. So Williams wants to see if he can work his way out of the bullpen. Ray Culp. Ray Culp also involved with a big trade with the Cubs. Here we go to the bottom of the 7th. Howard Bryan and Bernie Allen for the Senators. Howard 1 for 3 tonight. Struck out twice, singled in the 3rd inning. Ray Culp used to be on the Phillies when they had Mahaffey and, of course, Short and Bunny. In fact, that was the starting rotation. Here's Howard. Ray Culp, right-handed pitcher. Here's in for the sign. The first pitch to Howard. In there for a called strike. Howard takes it. Bryant is on deck. Braves lead the Pirates 2-1 in the 7th. Moose against Reed. 4-2 Phillies over Reds in the 7th. 1 strike pitch to Howard outside and in the dirt. Gets away from Ellie Howard. 1-1. Astros 5-2 over the Giants after 5. Bolin has replaced McCormick. Davis and Wynn have homered for the Astros. And McCool has come on in place of Pappas in the 8th inning for Cincinnati. Dodgers beat the Cubs today 6-0. 1-1 to Howard. In there for a called strike. Nice change of pace right over there.
Both bullpens are busy. 6'6" left-hander Gary Rogenberg in the Boston pen. Dave Baldwin for Washington.
6'6". You can't miss him, can you, John? Here's your pitch. Swung on. Line drive. Left center field. Smith coming in. Yastrzemski coming in. Yastrzemski calls and takes it on the run. So Howard flies out to Yastrzemski in left field. There's one down, and here's Bryant. Bryant 1 for 2 tonight. Struck out in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, and singled in the 5th. Senators have 8 hits. Senators have out-hit the Red Sox in all 3 games, but of course we lost the first 2. Bryant, big left-handed batter. Bryant and Howard back-to-back probably present 2 of the biggest back-to-back men in baseball. Pitch outside, ball 1. Bryant goes about 6'4".
Howard 6'6" or 6'7". Culp winds, 1-ball pitch. Low ball 2. Scott plays Bryan deep at first. Jones on the outfield grass at second. Foy and Petrocelli normal, short, and third. Yastrzemski pulled over in left field. Smith straight away. Here's your pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. He went after the 2-0. Bernie Allen on deck. Bryan squares away. Culp with the glove hand on his left knee. Toes the rubber. The pitch. Low, ball 3. 3-1 to Bryan. Harrelson walks around in right field, kicks a piece of paper. Usually they pick it up and put it in their pocket. Three and 1 to Bryan. The pitch. He takes it for a strike on the outside corner. 3-2, and Bryan looks at Stevens. He grumbles a little bit. 3-2 to Bryan. Bernie Allen on deck. 3-1. Senators lead it in the 7th. The pitch. Low, ball 4. Bryan walks for the second time tonight. Nellie Fox goes over, says something to Bryan, informing him that there is 1 out. Be aware of George Scott. Here's Allen. Bernie Allen 0 for 2 tonight. But got a run batted in the 5th inning when Valentine came in from third. The first pitch is low for a ball. With runners at first and third, Allen grounded to Jones, and Bryan did a bit of smart base running. He held up between first and second to make Jones commit himself. And he had only 1 play after that to throw to first, and Allen got an RBI. Throw to first, not in time. Allen wears the golf glove on the right hand. 1 ball to Bernie Allen. Scott holds Bryan at first. Pitch fouled off to the left. 1-1. Red Sox have used Stevens, Landis, and now Culp. Ortega all the way for the Senators. Senators in their bright red hats. When they wear these batting helmets, they look like firemen's hats. Bright uniforms this year. 1-1 to Allen. Culp to the stretch. Looks over at Bryan. Scott holds. Here's your pitch. Swung on. Popped him up. Back of second. Dalton Jones howls it in. Jones out. Jones calls and takes it. 1 gone, and here's Hansen. Excuse me, 2 outs. Howard flying out to Yastrzemski to lead off the inning. Hansen 0 for 2 tonight, walked in the 3rd inning. Came into this game hitting .220. But with his 18 hits, the man had 12 runs batted in. There's Bryan, short lead off first. Pitch outside, swung and fouled off. That pitch was outside. And Hansen went for it. Fouled it off to the right. Two outs. Bryan at first. Senators lead it 3-1. We're in the home 7th. Culp looks in twice for the sign now. He's ready. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Stroud is on deck. Hansen not giving it a true cut. Sort of a lazy swing. Two strikes to Hansen. Bryan at first. 2 gone. The pitch. Swung on. High chopper over the pitcher's mound. Jones charges. Throw to first. In time. They got him. The Senators are down in the 7th. No runs. No hits. No Red Sox errors. 1 left. We go to the top of the 8th. The Senators 3, Boston 1.
Hello, armchair baseball players enjoying WTOP Radio's coverage of the game. We like to have you with us, but wouldn't you like once in a while to sit in the ballpark, munch popcorn, and cheer your favorite Senators so they can hear you? Well, you can, and it'll cost you less than usual if you join the Senators Booster Club. Every Wednesday night home game is Booster Night, and you get your general admission tickets at reduced rates just by presenting your Booster Club card at the gate. As a member of the Booster Club, you're also eligible for free tickets throughout the season. And your membership card has the entire Senators schedule with home games and booster games clearly marked, so you're sure not to miss any. How do you become a Senators booster? Just stop by your nearest Atlantic Richfield station and pick up the card. Mail the stub to us, WTOP Radio, and you're registered for a chance at free tickets throughout the baseball season. Hurry, the next booster night is not far off. Go to your Atlantic gas station now, after the game, that is.
As the Red Sox come to bat in the top of the 8th inning, Dave Baldwin will come on to pitch for the Senators. So Ortega's record is complete. He goes 7 full innings, gives up 1 run, 7 hits. Ortega walked 2 and struck out 2. Pitched a good ball game. Red Sox left 2, 4, 6, 8 men on base. Strongest innings, the 5th and 6th, when he retired 6 straight batters. Of course, the Red Sox got 2 hits off of him the last inning, but Jim Lemon decided to keep him in and finish the job to Yastrzemski. So Ortega cannot lose the game, can only win it.
Jim Lemon, not trying to read intent in the manager's move here, probably felt that Ortega had thrown a lot of pitches. He had been in several jams during the ball game and had to work hard. So he felt that perhaps it was better to bring in the fresh arm in Dave Baldwin, particularly with 2 of the 3 hitters due up in this inning, right-hand batter. As a matter of fact, Smith is the only left-hand hitter in the lineup now for the Red Sox from the number 4 through 9 spot.
Harrelson will lead it off for the Red Sox here in the 8th, followed by Smith and Scott. Ken Harrelson, former Athletic, former Senator. Expert arm wrestler, expert pool shark, former All-American high school basketball player, former high school football player. Came into this 3-game series leading the American League, but it's doubtful if he's going to lead going out. He's 0 for 10 in this 3-game series. And he has not hit the ball well. Harrelson steps out. He usually waits for a pitch before he steps out. Takes some practice swings, touches his batting helmet. He's ready now. Harrelson with the brown handle bat. This pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1 on an outside pitch. Harrelson went for it. And he takes a walk this time. Goes halfway down the runway between the dugout and the on-deck circle. All right, he comes back. Same ritual. Plants his feet, touches his hat, puts the bat on the plate. And he's finally ready. 1 strike to Harrelson. Senators lead 3-1. We're in the top of the 8th. Baldwin has come on for Ortega here in the 8th. The pitch. Outside, ball 1.
A lot of fans and newspapermen complain that the pitchers are responsible for the interminable time it takes to play a game, but a lot of hitters are responsible also. Colavito, a big offender, and Harrelson, another one.
1-1 to Harrelson. The pitch. He takes it for a strike. Harrelson taking a lot of pitches in this series. Last night, he fanned twice on 2 called strikes. Pirates trail the Braves 2-1 in the bottom of the 8th now. Phillies and Reds 4-2 in the 9th. Phillies. The 1-2 to Harrelson. Outside, he almost bit for it. 2-2. And he takes the walk again. Knocks the dirt from his cleats. Looks around. Steps back in. Baldwin waits for him. And the 2-2. Inside, ball 3. 3-2 to Harrelson. Smith is on deck. Harrelson, of course, a very fortunate young man. From last place to first place in a World Series last year. 3-2 to Harrelson. Baldwin looks in to Bryant. The 3-2 is low, ball 4. Harrelson walks. Bryant goes out to talk to Baldwin. Here comes Hanson in from third. Reggie Smith, 1 for 3 tonight, doubled in the 4th inning. Popped out in the 1st inning, grounded out in the 6th. Left-handed batter. Where's number 7? Giants 5, Astros 5-2 over the Giants in the 6th. 2 games later on tonight, the White Sox at Oakland. Peters against Krause, and the Twins play in Anaheim. Merritt against McLaughlin. All right, Reggie Smith in there now. Nobody out. Top of the 8th. Senators lead at 3-1. Harrelson at first. The pitch outside for a ball from Dave Baldwin. Baldwin wears number 37. Stroud pulled way over towards center field. Valentine deep and right. Reggie Smith, switch hitter. Batting left-handed. In fact, he's batted left-handed in the entire series. Inside, ball 2. And Howard comes off the first base to talk to Baldwin. Baldwin with his left hand on his hip. Steps off the mound. Climbs back up again. George Scott is on deck. Umpire Kinnaman bent over at second. Getz with his arm straight down at third. The pitch is foul tip. It hits Reggie Smith's bat. He didn't want to swing at it. It's 2 balls and a strike. Down at first, Nestor Shylock, hands behind the back. 2-1 to Reggie. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. 2-2 to Smith. And he does some deep knee bends. Gets something out of his eye. Plants his left foot, now his right foot. He faces center field when he bats. His right foot. Now his right foot is parallel with the pitching rubber. Here's your pitch. Swung on, popped him up, foul, out of play. Brian off of the mask, watches it go into the stands and actually hits the net. You'll hear the whistles. The whistles and the whoop. 2-2 to Reggie Smith. Senators lead at 3-1. We're in the 8th. Ortega went the first 7 for Washington. Gave up 7 hits and 1 run. Ortega knocked in a run himself. Here's your pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him. Baldwin fans Reggie Smith, and here's Scott. Ortega doubled in 1 run. Allen knocked in a run on a ground ball, and the other run came in on a wild pitch. The Red Sox scored on a single by Stevenson. As a matter of fact, in this 3-game series, all Red Sox starting pitchers have at least 1 hit. George Scott is 0 for 3 tonight.
Hansen has a magnet with him. He's grounded out 3 times to Hansen. The pitch outside for a ball. Smith 1 for 11 in this series. Batting 100 coming into tonight's game. Howard holding Harrelson at first. A short lead by Harrelson. The pitch outside, ball 2. Petrocelli on deck. Tigers come in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then the Senators hit the road. Next homestand, the 20th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Monday through Thursday night games, Yankees and White Sox. Pitch, low, ball 3. Baldwin walks around the mound now. Looks down. Picks up the rosin bag. Drops it. 3 balls to Scott. Well, you're trailing by 2. You have Big Scott swing at this, or you figure you need another base runner. You're trailing by 2. Here's your pitch. He takes it for a strike. 3-1 to Scott. Scott came up as a long ball hitter. They got a hold of him last year, told him to shorten the stroke down, and wound up hitting .302. 3-1 to Scott. Harrelson leads off. 1 out. We're in the 8th. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. He went on the 3-1. 3-2 to Scott. Harrelson being held by Frank Howard at first. Howard's glasses shine in the light. They look like a couple of flashlights down there. 3-2 to Scott. Harrelson glued to the bag. Now he steps off. The pitch. Swung on. Ground ball. It is a base hit to right field. Harrelson takes the turn at second. He's going to try. No, he holds up. And wisely does as Valentine fires in. So Scott singles to right field. A ground ball between Howard and Allen. Moving Harrelson over to second. Petrocelli, 0 for 3 tonight, has grounded out 3 consecutive times to Brinkman. First hit off Baldwin. Cookie Rojas has just hit a 3-run home at the top of the 9th for the Phillies, making it 7-2 Phillies over the Reds. Hit that one off McCool. All right, Baldwin to the stretch. The pitch outside, and Bryan had a dive after that one off his left knee.
Bob Humphreys and Darrell Knowles in the Washington bullpen now, and left-hander Sparky Lyle getting ready for the Red Sox.
The hits are even. 8 for everybody. Scott at first, Harrelson at second. 1 gone. Top of the 8th. Senators lead it 3-1, trying to break a 6-game losing streak. The pitch. Swung on, fouled off to the right and out of play. And it bounces down from the from the upper deck, from the mezzanine downstairs. One and one to Petrocelli. Where's number 6 on the bat? Right-handed batter. Scott with a nice lead. Howard not holding. Harrelson leads off second. Tying runs on base. We're in the 8th. The pitch. Fouled right back here. A ball and 2 strikes. Need a glove up here. Two to 1. Braves over the Pirates in the 8th. 5-2. Astros over the Giants in the 7th. And 4-2. They'll make it 7-2 now. Phillies over the Reds in the 9th. Baldwin. 1-2. Pitch outside, ball 2. 2-2 to Petrocelli. Elston Howard on deck. Petrocelli hasn't gotten the ball out of the infield tonight.
hitting .237 coming into tonight's game. 1 for 9 in this series. Boy, the Red Sox averages are going to take a dive after this series. Scott 1 for 11. They'll make him 2 for 12 now. Here's your pitch. Oh, just missed the outside corner, and Baldwin, in disgust, just takes his arm and wrangles it around. 3-2. That was close. Harrelson 0 for 10. Three and 2. Harrelson at second. Scott at first. See if the runners will be going on this. There's only one out. There they go. The pitch, swinging a miss. Throw down to third. He is out. No, he's safe. Oh, he is out. Here's what happened. Harrelson slid into third. Boy, is he mad. Hanson put the tag on him. Umpire Jett said safe, but apparently Harrelson overslid the bag, and Hanson put the tag on him again. And boy, there's Popowski. Harrelson off with his hat. Williams out there. He's out. So the Red Sox are down in the 8th inning. No runs, 1 hit. No Senator errors. And 1 batter left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Senators lead it 3-1.
We're 98th and going great. And to prove it, B.F. Goodrich Stores are having a Hale and Hearty 98th anniversary tire sale on famous custom Longmire tile. Our most popular tire, now at the year's lowest prices. As low as $14.66 for size 613, plus the $1.58 federal tax. Just $14.66. And there are equally exciting savings on all sizes of 4-ply nylon cord custom Longmilers with a big edge tread. So come help us celebrate 98. Get custom Longmilers at the year's lowest prices. And get our anniversary special, too. It's a handy portable barbecue grill. Extra sturdy with 13-inch diameter and 3 grill levels. And it's yours for just 98 cents. Get it right now at TVA Supply Center, 1215 K Street, Northeast Washington, D.C., B.F. Goodrich Store, 3500 North Fairfax Drive, Arlington, Virginia.
The Senators come to bat in the bottom of the 8th, leading 3-1. It'll be Stroud, Brinkman, and Mr. Baldwin. There was experience, boy. Maybe a rookie third baseman after the ump calls him safe. Here's a pitch to Stroud, fouled off to the left. After the umpire signals him safe on the initial call, maybe a rookie third baseman immediately throws it back to the pitcher, but not Hanson. He stayed with Harrelson, and as soon as Harrelson overslid the bag, and he didn't do it by much, he probably took his foot off the bag, Hanson put it on him. The pitch, outside, ball 1. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. This is Washington Senators baseball.
What are the foreign and national papers saying about us? Hear them each morning on WTOP's Newsline AM right here.
Washington's news, information, and sports station, WTOP.
1-1 to Stroud. He bunts third base side, foul. 2 strikes and a ball. The Braves got 2 more on the 8th. And now lead the Pirates 4-1 as Ron Reed has a 3-run lead going into the top of the 9th. Moose stands to lose that game. No relation to Skowron. Phillies 7-2 over the Reds, bottom of the 9th. Larry Jackson ready to pick up his 3rd win. Pitch, swung on, ground ball, third base. Foy has, long throw to first. Scott stretches in time for the out. 5-3 if you're scoring, 3rd to 1st. And here's Brinkman.
For the benefit of fans who might be scoring, if we understood the official score correctly, there will be no assist for catcher Bill Bryan on the play at third base because Getz had indicated safe on the runner Harrelson, and then when he overslid the bag, Hanson tagged him out. Therefore, no assist for Bryan.
The pitch to Brinkman, in there for a called strike. The Goose is 0 for 3 tonight. Grounded out, popped up, and flied out. Eddie Brinkman. The pitch, fouled off behind him. 2 strikes. Brinkman had a strong spring.
But Hansen was the #1 guy, and that was it, period. Brickman, part-time serviceman, part-time ball player. 2-strike pitch to Eddie. Swung on. Ground ball, second base. Jones throws in time for the out. 2 gone. And here's Baldwin. Baldwin leaves his warm-up jacket with a bat boy. Walks up to the plate slowly. He's in no rush. Baldwin bats right and throws right. Ray Culp, the third Red Sox pitcher. He came on in the 7th inning. The pitch. Swung on, fouled off to the right. Off the auxiliary scoreboard. Down below. We haven't seen the thundering herd tonight. No mad dash for a baseball. The 1-strike pitch to Baldwin. He takes a good cut at it and fouls it off. 2 strikes to Baldy. Steps out, picks up some dirt. Looking ahead in the 9th inning, it'll be Elston Howard, a pinch hitter for Culp, and Joe Foy. The 2-strike pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, Baldwin fan. So Ray Culp does a nice job. Gave up only a walk in his 2 innings. The Senators are out in the 8th. Nothing across. We go to the top of the 9th inning. The Senators 3, the Red Sox 1.
It's radio age. Now the world is safer on a great new tire. It's radio age. Yes, it's rich system. I look so much higher. You tire from VFG. The radio 990. Run right on it, you will see. It rolls like nothing that you used to know.
All new, incredibly different BFG Silvertown Radio 990, made with soft-riding Dynacore rayon cord. 5, 10, even 15,000 more miles than ordinary tires. Better traction, quicker stops, even increases gas mileage up to 10%.
Radio Lane.
You can get BFG custom long miler tires at BF Goodrich Store, 3500 North Fairfax Drive, Arlington, Virginia.
Here we go to the top of the 9th. Howard, and the Sebring will bat for the pitcher, Norm Sebring. He's been around. Of course, came up as a Yankee. And used to play the outfield. Had trouble with that Sun field in left field, and Stengel didn't care for that too much and unloaded him to Kansas City. Also in that trade, he sent Jerry Lumpy to Kansas City. Ellie Howard will lead it off. Howard, perfect night, 2 for 2 and a walk. Howard was hitting 176 coming into tonight's game, so he raises his average a few points. This early in the season, he might be close to 200 now. Senators 3 outs away from breaking their 6-game losing streak. The Tigers come to town tomorrow night, McLean against Moore. Ellie Howard, MVP 1962, hit .348. Also, here's your pitch inside for a ball. Came up as an outfielder. And, of course, caught for many years with the Yankees and played first base with the Yankees while Berra was catching. And, of course, later they even put Berra in the outfield. Here's your pitch. Inside, ball 2 from Baldwin. Howard's got to take one now. They need base runners. Sebring on deck. 2-ball pitch to Howard. High, ball 3. Well, nobody working in the Senator bullpen. looks like they're anticipating a telephone call. Somebody off the bench out there with his warm-up jacket on. 3 balls to Ellie Howard leading off the ninth. The pitch. He caught the corner for a strike. Howard fakes the move down to first, as they all do. Yet to see an umpire influenced by that. 3-1 to Howard. The pitch. He takes it for a strike, 2. 3-2. Ellie Howard wears number 18 with the Red Sox. Baldwin to the windup. The 3-2. Swung on. Bat and everything. A base hit to left field. And the bat breaks in half. Howard's on with a single. Half the bat went over Hansen's head in the left field. And the other half went down the first base foul line. That was a splintered bat. Howard gets a base hit, and they'll have a pinch runner for him. Santiago. And Ellie Howard gets a fine hand. Perfect game. 3 for 3 and a walk. Jose Santiago. Santiago, in running in Tuesday night's game, hurt his pitching finger. In fact, it became numb. He went down to second base, went hard, and hurt his finger on the bag and had to come out. Although he did pitch one more inning. Here's Seaborn, left-handed batter. Wiry fellow, tall, lanky. Santiago on first. Outside for a ball to Seaborn. Now the Senators have a lefty and a righty in the bullpen. Knowles, the lefty. Humphreys, the righty. 1 ball to Seaborn. Seaborn 0 for 11 this year. Looking for his first hit. Where's number 4? Left-handed batter. Hands down on the nozzle of the bat. Santiago at first. The pitch. Popped him up. Left side. Hansen, foul territory near the stands. Has it in range and pulls it in for the out. So Seaborn pops out as the pinch hitter.
There was something interesting, Warner. If you were watching, you might have wondered what Frank Howard was doing, racing out into right field. Well, Frank is in the ball game every moment, and what he was doing was getting out into shallow right field in the event Hansen threw to second base, and the possibility that the throw might be wild. Howard guarding against the overthrow.
Heads-up baseball. Howard also, from his left field position, has come in to back up throws to third base from right field. The pitch, outside for a ball.
Well, I'll tell you, you've got to do that at Oakland in that new stadium because you've got 3/4 of an acre of foul area to cover.
1 ball to Joe Foy, one of the 7 little Foys. 1 for 4 is Foy tonight. He singled in the 7th inning. The pitch, low. 2 balls. Baldwin getting behind the batters. Some managers hesitate to use their starting pitchers as pinch runners. Of course, Lemon has used Joe Coleman on occasion. Pete Ramis used to be employed as a pinch runner. Remember, he even stole a base on opening day on his own against the Orioles with a 9-1 lead. They don't recommend that. 2 balls to Foy, the right-handed batter. Santiago at first. Howard not holding. Baldwin. The ball in his glove. The pitch. Outside, ball 3. Baldwin's control has not been sharp.
He had walked only 3 in 12 1/3 innings coming into this appearance tonight.
He had a 3-ball count on the pitch. Strike on the outside corner. 3-1. He had a 3-ball count on Howard and took 2 called strikes, and then Howard got the base hit on the 3-2 pitch, and here he is with a 3-1 on Foy. And he walked 1 man in the 8th inning and gave up a base hit. The 3-1, the pitch swung on. That'll be a base hit. Brinkman dives, can't get it.
Santiago holds up at second, and the Red Sox have the tying runs on base. Dalton Jones will be the batter. Now Baldwin is right-handed pitcher. Jones left-handed batter. Lemon has made no move. Baldwin is not sharp tonight. There's no question about that.
But in defense of Jim Lemon, Knowles was not sharp last night either in relief.
Correct. He's going to go with Baldwin. Foy at first. Santiago at second. 10 hits for the Red Sox in this game. Jones, 1 for 3 tonight. The pitch. He takes it for a strike. Phillies beat the Reds 7-1. Larry Jackson, the winner. Pappas, the loser. Rojas homered for the Phillies. 7-10-1 for the Phillies. 3-7-1 for the Reds. 1 strike to Dalton Jones, the left-handed batter. The pitch swung on, ground ball. Second base could be to Allen, to Brinkman, and that's all they'll be. As Scott came in hard in second base to break up the double play. Santiago moves to third.
Of course, another thing to consider there, too, Warner, is if Knowles had been brought in from the bullpen, you can bet your bottom dollar that Dick Williams would have countered with Jerry Adair.
And Adair got the base hit off Knowles last night. Here's Yastrzemski. Well, if you were Boston, you had 2 on and 2 out in the ninth. You'd rather have nobody up else but this man, regardless of what he's hitting. Yastrzemski tonight, 1 for 4. Carl, the left-handed batter. Stands medium in the batter's box. The pitch, swung on, fouled off to the left and out of play. Jones at first, Santiago at third, 2 gone. Top of the ninth, the Senators lead 3-1. Baldwin trying to save it for Ortega. Baldwin came on in the 8th. Ortega went the first 7. Baldwin looks into Bryan. The stretch, the pitch, inside, ball 1, 1-1. Phillies, by virtue of their win, temporarily move into undisputed possession of second place, only 3 games out. Not many people figured Phillies that high. 1-1 to Yastrzemski, the mayor of Boston. 2 on, 2 out, the pitch, low. Yastrzemski has a good eye. Tonight, the Red Sox have out-hit the Senators 10-8. Two balls and a strike to Yastrzemski. Top of the ninth. Senators lead 3-1. 2 on, 2 out. The pitch. Inside ball 3 gets away from Bryan, but Jones does not go. Didn't go far enough. Now, that could have been an important base, because if Jones had gone down and that ball had gotten away a little farther from Bryan, and he went down to second, then, of course, a base hit would tie the game. But now you got to bring Jones in from first. 3-1 to Yastrzemski. Well, what do you do if you're Dick Williams? You let this man hit that 3-1, or do you take it? Harrelson on deck. 3-1 to Yastrzemski. Baldwin steps off the rubber. Last time Yastrzemski, he did hit the 3-1. All right, Jones with a short lead off first. Santiago at third. 2 gone. Baldwin to the stretch. The 3-1 to Yaz. He takes it low for a ball, and the bases are loaded. Jones moves down to second. Yastrzemski at first. Santiago at third. A base hit ties the game. 2 outs. Here's Harrelson. Well, as Williams have a left-handed pinch hitter, he's going to let Harrelson bat. He's already used Sebring. Harrelson having a miserable series. 0 for 10. 0 for 10. The righty against the righty. No left-handed pinch hitters left. That's it. When Sebring got up, that was it. Of course, he usually has Dalton Jones when Andrews is playing. Harrelson stands up there. He's ready now. The base is loaded. The pitch outside for a ball. Should Harrelson get on, Smith would be the next batter. Santiago at third. Jones at second. Yastrzemski at first. 2 gone in the ninth. Senators lead by 2, 3-1. 1 ball to Harrelson. Nobody holding. Runners have big leads. The right-handed batter. Baldwin ready. The pitch. Swung on. Fouled off to the left and out of play. 1-1. And Harrelson takes his trot down the line now. Walks around. Wants the batter's rosin bag. Looks more like a rag. Braves beat the Pirates 4-2. Ron Reed, the winner, now 3-0. And the loser is Bob Moose. One and one to Harrelson, who steps back in. Yastrzemski at first, Jones at second, Santiago at third. 2 gone, top of the ninth. Senators lead it 3-1. The pitch, outside, ball 2. Starting in 15 minutes, the White Sox and Athletics in Oakland, the Twins and Angels in California. Phillies beat the Reds 7-1. Braves over the Pirates 4-2. Astros lead the Giants 5-3. They're in the 8th. Dodgers over the Cubs today 6-0. Nothing else in the American League. 2 balls and a strike to Harrelson. 3 on, 2 outs. Baldwin into the full windup. Here's the pitch. Swing, foul back. 2-2. 2-2-2, says the scoreboard. So if you're a Senators fan, you're 1 strike away from breaking your 6-game losing streak. If you're pulling for the Red Sox, you're a base hit away from a tie. Senator outfielders play Harrelson deep. No one would ever throw Jones out from second base if Harrelson came through with a base hit. All right, the runners take their lead. Baldwin to the full windup. The 2-2 to Harrelson. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him the ball. It's over. The Senators break their 6-game losing streak and win it 3-1. And his teammate shakes Baldwin's hand as he leaves the mound. Jim Lemon out of the dugout and shakes Baldwin's hand. Stay tuned now for a wrap-up of tonight's game with Dan Daniels and John McLean. Senators win it 3-1. Warner Wolf, it's been my pleasure.
At the Dodge Boys, the figures do the talking.
The figures do the talking. Now, at the Dodge Boys.
I want a big car if I can afford one. Dodge Polara. Is it big? Let the figures do the talking. 18. Polara's 18 feet long. Longer than either Ford or Chevy. Probably costs a lot more. 5. Polara's priced only $5 or $6 more than Ford Galaxy and Chevrolet Impala. Based on manufacturer's suggested retail prices for comparable standard two-door hardtop. Keep going. Let the figures do the talking. 230 V8 horsepower. Up to 30 horsepower more than the competition. Sounds great. You got a deal.
The figures do the talking. Now, at the Dodge Boys.
Well, joy reigns in D.C. as the Senators break their 6-game losing streak. A 3-1 win over the Boston Red Sox. Hoping to keep it up against the Detroit Tigers here at DC Stadium tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, when it will be Dennis McLain for the Tigers and left-hander Barry Moore for the Senators. The totals in the ball game tonight: Senators had 3 runs on 8 hits, made 1 error, left 9 men on. The Red Sox 1 run, 10 hits, no errors, and they left 2, 4, 6, 8, 11, 12 men on base. And it was a gutty relief performance by the side-arming right-hander Dave Baldwin, whose control was not as sharp as it usually is. He walked only 2 men, but he was behind several other hitters. And then in the 9th inning, he had his finest moment when Elston Howard opened the inning with a broken bat bloop single to left. After Sieben fouled out to Ron Hansen, batting for the pitcher Culp. Foy grounded a sharp single to left, with pinch runner Santiago stopping at second. Jones then bounced into a force play at second, Santiago moving to third. Kyle Yastrzemski went to 3-1 and walked. To load the bases and bring up Ken Harrelson, the Red Sox right fielder, who when he came into Washington was leading the American League in hitting. He did not have a base hit in the 3-game series against his ex-teammate. Baldwin got behind quickly 2-0. Then it went to 2-1. He fouled a pitch for 2-2. And Baldwin side-armed a fastball up and away from Harrelson, who took a mighty cut, struck out to end the ball game. Dave Baldwin credited with a save, and the winning pitcher, going 7 strong innings, was Phil Ortega, and Ortega's record now 4 wins and 2 defeats. Ortega thus becomes the Senators' biggest winner. The loser was starter Jerry Stevenson of the Red Sox. His record 1 win and 4 defeats. The 3 Washington runs charged to him. 1 in the 2nd, he wild pitched at home himself. 1 in the 5th on singles by Valentine and Bryan, and an infield ground out by Bernie Allen. Another one in the 6th inning on Stroud's single, his steal of second, and Ortega's pop fly double that landed on the right field foul line. The Red Sox got their only run in the 4th inning on a double by Smith. After 2 infield outs, he was at third. Howard was intentionally walked after Ortega got behind 3-0. And then Stevenson scratched a high hopper off Ortega's glove, and Smith scored with the only Red Sox run of the night. Right down to the wire, but the Senators break the 6-game losing streak and climb back to within 1 game of the 500 mark for the season. Now we'll be back in just a moment with a look at tomorrow's game and the scoreboard.
Reminder again that the Tigers move in for the 3-game series opening tomorrow night. The pitching rotation set again. Tomorrow in the opener, it's going to be Barry Moore opposed by Denny McLain. Saturday at 1:30, Frank Bertena and Joe Sparma. And then Sunday at 1:30, Joe Coleman and Mickey Lolich. Also, Sunday will be Ball Day here at the stadium. Remember that the youngsters 14 years of age and under with an admission ticket and accompanied by a paid adult get their free baseball, and that'll be on Sunday afternoon with game time 1:30. After that, the Senators move on the road and back in again the following week for another good long homestand. The Tigers in tomorrow, and Detroit trailing Baltimore by just a half game.
I'll look at the scores of other games quickly now. The Atlanta Braves defeated the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight 4-2. Ron Reed, the winner, relieved from Jim Britton in the ninth inning. The losing pitcher, Bob Moose, with Dave Wickersham relieving in the seventh inning for the Pirates. The Phillies slugged out a 7-3 win over Cincinnati tonight. Larry Jackson, the winning pitcher, and Milt Pappas, the starter and loser for Cincinnati. Rojas had a 3-run homer in the ninth inning for Philadelphia. Going to the bottom of the eighth inning, the Houston Astros 5, San Francisco Giants 3. Dave Gusty for the Astros, Mike McCormick, Bob Bolin, Bill Henry, and Ron Herbel for San Fran. Willie McCovey homered in the eighth, none on for the Giants. Ron Davis in the first with one on, and Jim Wynn in the third, nobody on for the Astros. The Dodgers, behind the 3-hit shutout pitching of Bill Singer, defeated the Cubs 6-0 in an afternoon game. And just getting underway on the West Coast, Chicago White Sox and the Oakland A's at Oakland, where it'll be Gary Peters and Luke Krause. And at Anaheim, the Minnesota Twins will pitch Jim Merritt against Jim McLaughlin of the California Angels. That wraps up things for tonight. Senators Baseball was brought to you by Household Finance Corporation. Remember, if you need money for any worthwhile purpose, see the folks at HFC, America's oldest and largest consumer finance company, with 24 metropolitan area offices conveniently located to serve you. And brought to you by your B.F. Goodrich dealer, the men who have eliminated tire buying confusion. B.F. Goodrich, the straight-talking tire people. This broadcast has come to you by authority of the Washington Senators Baseball Club under rights purchased by WTOP Radio. Any rebroadcast or other use of this play-by-play description without their express consent is prohibited. Your announcers have been Dan Daniels, Warner Wolf, and John McClain. We hope you'll be with us for the next Senators game tomorrow night at 7:55 Washington time, when the Senators will meet the Tigers at D.C. Stadium. John McClain saying so long for now. Final score tonight, the Senators 3, the Red Sox 1. We return you now to Broadcast Hub.
So many unpleasant things can happen to your skin. The cold can crack it. The heat can dry it. Water will wash away its natural oils. A frown can grow into a telltale wrinkle. Soot and dirt can leave horrible little lines. Guerlain announces the rebirth of your skin. Ambrosian face cream. A few drops in the evening and again in the morning. Smoothing, softening, easing away harshness at the eyes, around the mouth. Ambrosian face cream. It's one of the nicer things that can happen to your skin.
Good evening, this is Jamie Bragg. Well, we have time for no phone calls tonight, folks. It's a minute before 11 o'clock now, and we have Bob Windsor standing by all set to bring you the news, and then we'll have Terry Horrigan and Musical Dawn coming up at 11:30. Just a reminder that we'll be around here tomorrow night if the game is over in time, before 11 o'clock. Maybe we'll play some stumpers and have time to listen to your phone calls then. So, after the game tomorrow, as I said, if we have a little time before 11 o'clock, join me at that time for baseball and more phone calls.
You say you own your own home, and that big wind blew all the shingles off the roof, and the boiler sprang a leak, and the neighbor's dog ruined your magnolia bushes.
Well, keep a stiff upper lip, cousin. Just when you think it'll take years to catch up, along comes a great bank with an easy, low-cost home improvement loan. Improve your home with a First and Citizens loan and smile. First and Citizens, the pace-setter bank serving Northern Virginia.
Never fear, Eddie's here along with the whole gang each morning to bring you what's happening on WTOP's Newsline AM.
Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick? A brand new Buick? Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick this year?
A very special time of the year is here. Buick Bargain Days. If you've ever dreamed of owning a brand new Buick, Special Deluxe, Skylark, Grand Sport, LeSabre, Wildcat, Electra 225, even a Riviera, this is your time of year. Buicks, equipped the way Buick should be equipped, are easier to own than they've ever been. Let your Buick dealer show you.
Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick? A brand new Buick? All the bright, exciting new Buicks are